Walaikum assalam, Azad and Yahya ibn Zakaria and Sparky Tech. Welcome to another Sunday Chill. Walaikum assalam, brother Thabat and Sabin and Mowgli. And mountain and trees. So, what's been going on, people? A lot of things been going on, I think. The Imam hijab debate, and my traveling. We had an arena. Lots to talk about. So we'll do the usual with the chill. We'll do half an hour just chilling with the chat, seeing what you guys are up to today. Yeah, it is haram to be in a pub, unless I think there's exceptions, like if you need to use the toilet or yeah, generally yeah, you shouldn't be sat there enjoying yourself. But if you see your brother going into a pub, you should always think the best. But I don't do fatwas. Did you watch Ali Dawah Raw? No, I didn't. I didn't. It seems as YouTube seems dead these days. It seems really dead. TikTok is like where the cool kids are. But we'll see. I don't think I can hang around here for half an hour though without going on TikTok. Walaikum assalam, epic. I'm here for you guys. Don't forget, your question should be in the chat. Did I see the hijab battering? Who did the battering? Do you believe? I saw a question that we're going to be asking the Christians today, and that is, what does it mean to be eternally begotten or eternally generated? Yeah. I saw the debates. It's all right, but I'm seeing it in clips at the moment, so I can't work out. Everyone's claiming victory. To be honest with you, most of the philosophical terms I don't understand. So it's the same scenario. It looks like he did something, but I don't know what. Have I seen Chris Frost's book on the Islamic dilemma? No. It's a terrible argument. I think people are using other platforms as the other ones are getting popular and different levels of censorship. Yeah, when it came to the Trinity thing, I didn't understand it. I didn't understand what was going on. Should we just go live on TikTok? Who are we kidding? We just want TikTok, don't we? What are you saying? Should we just go live on TikTok and be done with it? What is Hajira? Hey, get ready to go downstairs. Let's let Hajira scrub up first. Yeah, there's a lot of shouting. There was a lot of rhetoric going on. There was a lot of grandstanding going on. It was, and I said there was a lot of philosophical terms going on. But I didn't understand majority of it. I don't know what it means by half the terms used. I don't really argue against this Trinity in a philosophical manner. Hey, soy Viviana. Waalaikumsalam. Waalaikumsalam, Jawad. TikTok's going to be interesting as a chill. Did you hear about the witch I gave Shahada to yesterday? Were you guys in the shop live? Can't wait to do an interview with her, to be honest. Yeah, but I've got to be chill. That's the challenge, isn't it? Me, I got to be chill. I could be chill. No, but she believed in. She was a witch. She used to. She had a dark goddess she used to pray to, who used to do things for her. She used to do spells. She used to make, dolls and things. And I found it fascinating that someone could be involved in all of that stuff and seeing things happening in a supernatural manner and still find Islam. I find it mind blowing. You know these Christians. Oh, I saw a light, and that's it. They're done. But she's actually recognized that this stuff that's going on ain't good. So I want to know the story. I want to know what she did. She explained to me to become attached to this particular dark goddess, she had to like cut herself and bleed and this and that. But mashallah gave her beautiful shahada yesterday. So Avery started out saying he believed it was predictive, and then after Nick told him, he changed it mid-debate. I heard that Nick got baked by Itachi or Korra on saying that Jesus' divinity could leave his body or something. Yeah, but the idea of experiencing it and the idea of dabbling in it, utilizing it, selling the services of it, being an actual, she did tarot readings and cauldron readings and all sorts. I can't wait to hear her story. She's just got to make sure everybody in her life knows she's accepted Islam. She's told her business partner, and she's told her daughters now, mashallah. And she's just now switching her values. But when she's ready, she'll do because I want to talk about her past life. I want to talk about what it was like to be a witch. Yeah, Cora. I think was it Cora who did Nick? I believe so. They're brilliant for that. Okay, we're going live on TikTok. My breakfast is coming soon, and we're having the big boy this morning. Walaikum assalam, circle of knowledge. Get downstairs, Hajira. I'm being called a hero. Who's calling me a hero? The debates are too philosophical for my brain. I mean, I don't know what qua means. They kept using it. I think the reaction of Cora, I think Nick made a huge blunder, but I couldn't like, I don't know, replicate the blunder. I wouldn't know. But I think Cora did Nick. I think Nick said something. Quam. That's it. Quam. What does that mean? Quam. I don't know. But I think he made a huge blunder, and other Christians were saying, "What's he saying?" So what Cora did? She did all these comments from Christians saying, "What's he saying? What's he talking about?" But I was doing the same today. I was on TikTok this morning, and I was asking Christians, "What does it mean that when the Son is eternally generated?" And the Christians were like, "We don't believe this." They were saying logic made a blunder. So I'm like, okay, that's fine. Do you get me? I don't know what qua means. Quam means. What does quam mean? I mean, when you give his Titanic example, he said glacier instead of iceberg. I mean, come on. I was like, it's a bloody iceberg, mate, not a flipping glacier. Logic versus Muhammad hijab, it was. Or logic didn't make a blunder. The Son is eternally generated. Yeah, come and tell me what that means. Oh, sorry, I just invited somebody. I didn't mean to invite them. I didn't mean to invite him. Oh, did I? He was requesting, I think. Was he requesting? See, this is the thing. You're saying logic didn't make a blunder. Another Christian told me today logic did make a blunder. So if you don't think he made a blunder, come and tell us what it means to be eternally generated. Because I don't understand it. Glacier. Would have been a slow moving Titanic to get hit by a glacier. Am I inviting people here, or am I just? Are people requesting, or am I just? Am I just inviting viewers? I'm just inviting viewers. Sorry, guys. Logic tried to hold the predicative sense and relative identity at the same time, which is contradiction that hijab caught him on. Yeah. Yeah, the interview with the former witch will be interesting. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think qua means of pertaining to. One of those philosophical terms you only really need if you believe in man gods. Okay. Yeah, that's true, Jawad. That is indeed true. Yeah. What does that mean as well? Christians for years have said, yeah, he's fully man and fully God. And then all of a sudden, logic says, we don't say fully God, we say truly God. The hell's that mean? Since when? Since when have Christians said, yeah, he's fully man and truly God? They've never said that. No Christians ever said that. I mean, what does it even mean? Yes, mate.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
What model of the hypostatic union do you disagree with? Because there's like several.
I don't know which one do you believe is. Do you believe in the?
I hold to Scotus's model of the hypostatic union.
John Donne's, yeah. So you don't believe in you don't believe in the divine simplicity of.
God doesn't follow. I just hold to his model of the hypostatic union.
So you don't agree with Thomas Aquinas?
About his mereological analogy.
Oh, don't use these stupid words. Don't use
the principle of substantial union is essay communicated to nature.
Forget these words. Okay. So do you believe the Son is eternally generated?
What does that have to do with the incarnation?
Because I'm asking when logic said that. I'm just trying to understand. Do you hold to that? Yeah, God logic when he spoke.
God logic?
Yes. So he said that the Son is eternally generated by the Father. Yeah. Do you agree with that?
Generation is cataphatic. But yeah, sure.
You agree with that? Mm-hmm. Okay, what does that mean?
And generation is just going to be cataphatic here.
What does that mean?
Means that,
what does that mean?
You don't. How are you like? That's not even like a Christian thing. Yeah. You can hold to like cataphatic or negative theology.
What does cataphatic mean?
Cataphatic means knowledge by negation.
Knowledge by negation.
Do you know what a cataphatic predication is?
No. Knowledge by negation.
Knowledge by negation, yes.
Oh, okay. So
you're affirming or attributing a positive predicate using, it's going to be something negative.
Okay. So when the Son is eternally generated, what does that mean?
You say externally generated?
Eternally generated.
Oh, that just means that the Word is going to be the essentially the product of God's knowing Himself.
What?
I said that's going to mean that the Son or the Word is the product of God knowing Himself. Like if you understand, like, because I reject like Aquinas' model of the hypostatic union. I do agree with the Thomistic model of the Trinity. So if you understand like Thomistic epistemology, then obviously that would follow for God. Because God doesn't have like when knowledge, He knows things by essences.
When the Son is eternally generated, what does it mean?
Yeah, it means that God, the product of God's knowledge is the Word. That's what
does eternally generated mean?
And the Word is eternal.
What do you mean by eternal? You mean it's just eternal in the past or continuous or what?
That's a whole different thing. That's just tangential. But I mean, metaphysically, obviously the Word would be metaphysically necessary. If there's
I'll be honest with you. I can't believe we're speaking the same language here. I can't have this conversation. Okay. Forgive me, mate. Go speak to somebody like Jake or something. Okay. For God's sake. You ask for an explanation of a word and they give you more words that you don't understand. And you ask for an explanation of words and they give you more words. I mean, where did Jesus teach such a thing? I just can't have the conversation. I try. I'm trying to understand it, but what the hell are you talking about? Yeah, you do, mate.
I'm doing okay.
How can I help? How can I help?
The question I wanted to ask was: would you have Sharia law for the UK?
Oh, it'd be brilliant for the UK.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you carry out the killing of apostates and things like that?
Who? Me?
No, under law, that's what should happen under Sharia law, isn't it?
If the people want it, will of the people, isn't it?
So, and it's also, would you cut the hand of the thief?
If it's the will of the people, of course.
That's a bit extreme.
No, I think it will stop thieving. I think it will stop burglaries. I think it will stop carjacking. I think it will stop phone jacking. I think it'd be brilliant. The idea of a punishment of a crime is to deter the crime, isn't it? So if the punishment is losing your hand, you ain't going to jack no one's phone. Risk losing your hand. Whoops. See you later. Did I make too much sense? 2026, mate. Assalamu alaikum, Iram. They're always saying string up rapists and this, that, the other. I mean, come on. These, pedophiles should be executed. Yeah, I agree. So does Sharia. Oh, dear. I don't think he thought through his argument. Did anyone understand that Christian guy? I couldn't understand a bloody word. Like when he said that, I just asked, what does eternally generated mean? What are they imagining? He contradicted himself. What did he say that was contradictory? Because I didn't understand what the hell he was talking about. What's my makeup tutorial? My makeup tutorial? My wake-up tutorial? I was trying to listen. I was trying to understand. And I'm even more intrigued as to where it comes from. This idea. I don't know. Anyway, TikTok's awake on this Sunday morning. Sunday chill. So the good thing about Sunday chill is I have to try to keep my cool. Yeah, this is the whole point of the Sunday chill. So I don't raise my voice too much. I don't get aggressive too much. It's like a willpower thing for me, like a test of my will. Oh, Avi argued relative identity. This guy is trying to defend the predicate sense. They're not even the same Trinity model. Yeah, you seem to know what you're talking about, Abu Zaid, but me... But you know what I find really ironic is that Christians, God logic cooked him. He cooked him. And if you ask them, what does this mean? They wouldn't have a clue. So it's like, well, how did he cook him then? What did he say? What did he know? What did he do? How did he expose? What did he expose? Yeah, I have to be disciplined in the Sunday chill. How is the quality on TikTok, by the way, guys? Is the sound good, or does it cut out when the other person speaks, or what is it?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Hello, bro. How are you?
I'm good, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, I have a question about the verse that says that Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the current Injil and Torah. What's your response on that?
Sorry?
The verse that says that the Prophet in the current Injil and Torah.
Where does it say that?
1 second.
This was another one people thought God logic cooked me on.
No, because I think it exists in the Gospel of Matthew when Jesus says the kingdom of God will go to a Gentile nation, which is non-Israelite nation, and we can connect it to Genesis 17:20. When God promises Ishmael will have a great nation.
Okay, what's it say? The verse you're referring to?
The verse. Wait, let me Which chapter is that? Chapter 7, verse 157.
Chapter 7, verse 157.
Yeah.
Bismillah. They are the ones who follow the messenger, the unlettered prophet, whose descriptions they find in the Torah and the Gospel. Yeah. Okay. Where did you say current?
Don't you think it's the current one?
Okay. I don't believe that the Injil is the New Testament, so I don't need to try to find him in there. But if a Christian is trying to understand this, they believe as Christians, according to the Gospel of John, that Jesus said and did many things that weren't written down. So this is a classic example of absence of evidence and evidence of absence.
Yeah, but I think there's an explanation about it, even if it means the current one.
Now, will you,
I'm not sure, like I saw
if you've come on here to tell me your theses, that's one thing. If you come to ask me, there's a different story. You came to ask me. I told you. I don't recognize the Injil as the New Testament. But if a Christian is trying to say, oh, there's nowhere in if he's trying to maintain that the New Testament is the Injil and he can't find Muhammad in there, so according to his own New Testament, Jesus said many things that weren't written down and did many things that weren't written down. Therefore, just because you can't find the words of Jesus in there doesn't mean he never said those words. That's as simple as it is. All right, my brother? Take care.
Yes, yeah.
Assalamu alaikum. See, there's a difference of coming up here asking me a question and coming up and you having an idea of something. It's completely different. I don't hold no weight at all to the Bible at all, in any way, shape, or form. Why Paul is a prophet, but Muhammad is not. If both, I don't even know what that. I don't even know what that is. Please formulate questions so they make sense. Please just formulate questions so they make sense. So I've got like something to respond to, because I didn't even understand your question, man. Let me put the link out on YouTube as well, just in case any YouTubers want to pop up. We don't even get many Christians in our YouTube anymore, do we? It's just the gang. Just the gang. Walaikum salam.
Is this only for non-Muslims, or what is the topic about? I just want to say I'm a big fan. I love your work. Allahumma barik.
Jazakallah khair. I'm just chilling. Just relaxing. Why?
Allahumma barik. May Allah bless you and your knowledge. Allahumma barik. And what you do for the deen and for us and for yourself. Allahumma barik. I just want to ask you, where did you, I want to gain like knowledge like you, inshallah. What do you recommend? I was born Muslim, alhamdulillah, but there is like a lot of, when non-Muslims ask me like about the deen, I get very, very confused, and I'm like, I feel very ashamed. I feel like I'm a born Muslim and I cannot answer these questions. I just guide them to the masjid, and but I start to feel very, very like embarrassed that I don't know enough about my deen.
What questions?
For example, like why did Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam marry like 9-year-old and stuff like your very, very like weird and attacking.
Why are you wasting your time answering questions like that?
Because I want to sometimes like prove that our religion
no need to.
Is like,
they don't understand their own religion. Yeah, they don't really care. You can answer any question they bring to you about Islam that's a misconception. They'll just bring you another one. And the thing is this, you don't need to respond to their idiotic understanding of things.
Okay. And how about when they say like prophet?
Oh yeah. Sorry, someone just put a good answer in the chat actually. So this is what I used to do as well. When anyone brought a misconception to me, I would type it and then straight after it type answering Christianity, and you'll see a response to those misconceptions.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. And another question. I want to like understand more about madhabs and
Read about them.
Sharia, and all that type of stuff.
Just
Did
read
you
it.
go to another? Did you go to hijrah to another country?
No.
Or did you learn it in?
I no. Look. No, I didn't. If you want to learn about anything, pick up a book and read it on the topic you want.
But some scholars say that you should never try to learn it by yourself. That you should have a scholar who will guide you. That it's dangerous to,
go find go find a scholar then. Take care. Assalamu alaikum. My giddy aunt. That's the epitome of a whiny Muslim. Colossal Cows asks, Hamza, must you change your name if you become Muslim? Say that your name means prison. No, it's only if your name has some kind of shirky connotation. So imagine your name was Ganesh. Yeah, you're more likely going to change your name. But you don't have to change your name if it has no connotation like that. Your name means prison. How did you get a name like prison? Where are you from? Have you took your Shahada yet, by the way, Colossal? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Logic done, run through the town, guys. Well, you have born and raised in Sweden, from Iraq, Kurdistan originally. MashaAllah. Pin the link. Sorry. Let me do that now. My favorite breakfast is being prepared as we speak. So don't complain when I'm eating online, because I'm going to be eating online. My favorite breakfast is on its way. Okay. Okay, Archhawk. Jump on. Let's have a conversation about Paul. What's she making? I call it the big boy. So basically, it's a triple decker sandwich or toast with bacon, eggs, cheese, and onions. I call it the big boy. Yeah, it's like a club sandwich, triple decker. Any plans coming to Australia? Okay, so I'll tell you my plans, inshallah. So what I plan to do is I'm trying my level best to by September, October time to move to Qatar, inshallah, for a year. Leave the family back here, go there for a year, and I'm gonna write my books. Yeah, inshallah, the book of Muhammad Sallallahu, book on Paul, and the book on DNA, inshallah. And then what I plan to do is, once I've done that, is to bring the family over then to Qatar, and then I'm gonna take do a world tour, and I'm gonna go to all different countries, and I'm gonna debate on stage. Whoever wants to debate on the topic of Paul and on the topic of DNA, and I'll also lecture on the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessing upon him. So this is my strategy. So inshallah, by the end of this year, hopefully I've relocated to Qatar, do a year in Qatar to write my books, and then I'm going to lecture and debate on my books. Somebody at the door. Do you want to see the big boy? I'll show you the big boy. So this is the big boy. See it? Do you want to see it? This is the big boy. Bacon, egg, cheese and onion on toast. And of course with a cup of tea. Yeah, first is Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu, then Paul, then DNA. No, nothing else. My daughter wanted the keys for the car. Bismillah. Yeah, the DNA book is going to be really good. So basically, the DNA, I believe, is the evidence for the existence of God. My books take down everyone. Alhamdulillah. Let's see if we can bait some of these Christians out of their hiding. There we go. Yes, mate. Mm-hmm. Yes. You want to speak? No? Okay. Round 2. Sorry. Let me repeat that. So a Christian responded to my question, why do you believe Christianity is true, with this gem? Because I watched logic cook you 20 times and made me change my mind. My giddy up. Can I just get rid of this annoying person? Mm. What am I eating? I'm eating bacon, egg, cheese, and onion on 3 pieces of toast. So nice. Nice. It looks nice, doesn't it? Honestly, it's just. And I think the cheese was hot honey as well. Oh, it was lovely. It was lovely. Come on, Christians, come and join us on this blessed Sunday and tell us why you believe Christianity is true. It's such a basic question, man. Like I was saying yesterday, people like preach this on the street corners, man. You know what I mean? Quoting this, John 3:16, John 1:1. You know what I mean? And then when you ask them why they believe it, you get like crickets. And we've got so many God Logic fans in the chat here. But why so scared to come up? Why so scared to come up? You know, it is a blessed Sunday, Iram, because it's one day I'm not working. Alhamdulillah. I did a little bit of work this morning. I had to go to the wholesalers and I had to pick up a box that came from Paris, but I'm not stuck in the shop. You know what I mean? So for me, it's a blessed day. But surely you can answer that question, why I believe Christianity is true. Why do you believe Islam is true? Well, I believe Islam is true because the Prophet Muhammad was a messenger of God. And the reason I believe he was a messenger of God, because I don't believe he could be anything else. I don't think he was lying. I don't think he was crazy. I don't think he could be deceived. Therefore, he must be telling the truth. And if he's telling the truth, then he's a messenger of God. And if he's a messenger of God, Islam is true and everything else is false by default. Someone goes, circular reasoning. No, it's called deductive reasoning, mate. You're eliminating the possibilities one by one. Then you're only left with the truth. That's all you have to do. I believe Christianity is true because I believe. Let me see how a Christian could answer this. I believe Christianity is true because I believe God had to get paid in blood for our sins. And rather than us keep sacrificing animals, he decided that he would come as a man and die once and for all, so we wouldn't have to keep sacrificing animals. And all those who believe that he died for us, actually, I don't know, because we still sin. So he didn't prevent us sinning, and he doesn't allow us to sin. So I don't actually understand what was going on. I don't even understand what's going on at this point. Why? What did Jesus do? Jesus died for my sins. Okay, what? So you can't sin anymore? No, I can still sin. Okay, so he died for all your future sins or your past sins. Yeah, he died for my past sins. Or what about your future sins? No, he didn't die for them. So what did he die for? And now I understand why they're struggling to answer. I think the question would be, what is Christianity? Before they understand why they believe it's true, what is it? I had to stop myself. I was like, what the hell? What the hell do they believe? You know, the Unitarian Christians are really more puzzling than Trinitarian Christians, because at least the Trinitarian Christians can act like Jesus died, God died for them. But Trinitarian Christians just believe in human sacrifice. I don't get it. Oh wait, there. Paul said it. Paul said God has to be paid in blood. Oh, who's Paul? Oh, he's this guy who was hunting down the followers of Jesus. Well, he was a Pharisee. Yeah, he was a Pharisee, and he was hunting down the followers of Jesus. Didn't the Pharisees petition for the release of the followers of Jesus from the Sanhedrin? Sorry, what? Didn't like Gamaliel, the leader of the Pharisees, go to the Sanhedrin and say, "Can you release Peter, James, and John?" Yeah. Okay. So the Pharisees petitioned for the release of Peter, James, and John, who are the right-hand men of Jesus, who are, of course, going to carry on his teachings. And that Paul, the Pharisee, all of a sudden starts hunting some poor people that Peter, James, and John may have spoken to. How'd you justify that? What would you say? Oh, sorry. He was going to Damascus to hunt Christians. Okay. And the high priest gave him authority to go to Damascus to hunt Christians. Okay. Did the high priest have any authority in Damascus? Not really. Okay. Yeah, he did, because you know, the Romans and the Jews and no. Wasn't Damascus a Nabatean kingdom ruled by King Artius? So the high priest had no legal authority to hunt anybody in his kingdom. So for me, it doesn't feel like Paul's a Pharisee, to be honest. And Paul a Pharisee, and the Pharisees don't work with Sadducees, and Sadducees and the high priest was a Sadducee. What did Justin Martyr say when he was told by Trypho that there were Christians who were eating meat sacrificed to idols? What did Justin Martyr say? Let me think. Oh yeah. He said they're not true Christians. He says they're wolves in sheep's clothing. So Justin Martyr says that those Christians that believe you can eat food sacrificed to idols are not true Christians and are wolves in sheep's clothing. What did Paul say about eating food sacrificed to idols? Didn't he say it was all right? I think I'm scaring the Christians more now. I think I'm scaring them more. I'm not raging them in. They're just like chirping in the chat, and there's no way they're coming up now. As soon as you mention Justin Martyr or Polycarp or Irenaeus, they're gone. Yeah, I think I'm scaring them even more. Oh my God, how do I answer that question? How do I recognize that? And who was it who said that? Did Jesus? Was it Jesus who said it? Or not? Subhanallah. So, oh wow. So in Matthew, Jesus says, "Watch out for false prophets. They come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they are ferocious wolves." Wait a minute. So Jesus says, watch out for false prophets, for they are wolves in sheep's clothing. Justin Martyr says, Christians that teach you can eat food sacrificed to idols are wolves in sheep's clothing. Paul taught you could eat food sacrificed to idols. So he's the wolf in sheep's clothing that Jesus warned you about. Woo! That's a tough one. That's a rough one, man. That is a rough one. Someone was requesting, where did she go? Was it a she or a he? So like a purple. Oh, disappeared, scrolled by. How do you rectify that one? So Jesus says Paul is a wolf in sheep's clothing. You thought Paul said not to eat those foods. No. He justified why you could eat them. Just don't do it so you upset the people. But if there's no people about. But Justin Martyr didn't make that distinction when Trypho said it to him. He says there are Christians that teach that you can eat food sacrificed to idols. Justin Martyr said they're not true Christians. They're wolves in sheep's clothing. And who warned you about wolves in sheep's clothing? Jesus. And who is a wolf in sheep's clothing according to Justin Martyr? Paul. Get out of that one. Get out of that one. You want a dilemma? There's a dilemma. Oh, and in Revelations, Jesus condemns it as well. Wow, subhanallah. Why attack Christianity, educate about Islam is pointless. Because if a Christian believes Christianity is true, we first need to make them not think it's true. Because otherwise, Islam can't be reconciled with Christianity, obviously. So I could tell you beautiful stuff about Islam as soon as I say that Jesus didn't die for you. And Jesus isn't God and such. I'll lose the room. And that's the other thing. Yeah, just to add it again. Yeah, that's a beautiful add there for Lana. And according to what it says, Benjamin is a ravenous wolf. His descendants were called as a ravenous wolf. And Paul claims to be from the tribe of Benjamin. I don't like that one because I don't think he was Jewish. I don't think he was a Pharisee. Or maybe he was Jewish but not a Pharisee. Maybe you could allow that. Come on, Christians, did he hide? Did he hide? The Balaam point I don't think is effective. And the reason I don't think it's effective because you give wriggle room. Because Balaam was teaching food sacrifice to idols and sexual immorality. Whereas Paul does blatantly speak out against sexual immorality. So, and what the Christian will do, they will wriggle. So I don't need to bring that up. Attacking other religions rather than glorify your own is literally bigotry. Okay. Do you see me attacking other people's religions? Or do you see me asking the question, Christians, why do you believe it's true? That's not attacking. That's inquiring. You know me, Jawad. I don't like to give them wriggle room. The arguments I've just presented right now, there is no wriggle room. Justin Martyr said, they're not true Christians, wolves in sheep's clothing. Jesus said, beware of wolves in sheep's clothing. Paul taught that thing. Khalas. End of story. I'm trying to understand why Christians believe Christianity is true. So, come on down. I've seen your debates when you spew ad hominems. No, you've not. You've never seen me spew ad hominems in response to a argument presented. What are you talking about? Just making stuff up. Wow, they're all scared of me, man. Why are you scared of me, Christians? Don't be scared. This is why I need to move on to moderated debates now. Table on stage with a crowd. My arguments are getting so locked in now that it's time to start pinning people properly in front of crowds. Salaam alaikum, salam Laith. Hope you're well, my brother. Walaikum salam, Khalid Safan. Walaikum assalam, Ali. Wow. I thought the Dawah was finished. Oh, actually, this is not Dawah, is it? This is polemics. Polemics is on the rise. Yeah. I suppose this is not Dawah. I'm not doing Dawah. I might do some gaming later. I haven't games. I think I've got 3 choices of games to play. I don't have to go to Crimson Desert. I don't have to do this Windrose, this Pirate Flex, or to do some Bannerlord. I'm not sure. I think I fancy Bannerlord. How long are we live today? I reckon we got a good 2 hours to go. I reckon we could go till 4. I think that'd be fine. I've not played any Resident Evil game. I don't know. Yeah, so should we aim for 4 o'clock? So we've got 2 hours and 20 minutes remaining. Anyway, let's do it. Hey Hamza, what advice would you give to someone who knows Islam is true but is delaying the Shahada? Also a redhead. Okay, so it's like me. You can believe Islam is true, but your heart doesn't want to accept it because of what your heart's going to lose, or your nafs doesn't want to accept it because of what your nafs are going to face, your desires and such. So it's not necessarily enough to be intellectually convinced if your heart and your desires are not ready for Islam. That's what you sometimes have to get. People don't realize that, because I was explaining this to someone in Qatar. I said, look, in Qatar, it's easy to give Shahada. Why? Because their heart is inclined to Islam because they're working and living there, and their nafs are because their friends around them are Muslims. Everything's halal. It's just the easiest thing in the world to be a Muslim is in Doha, in Qatar. Yeah. So all you need to do with those people is just convince them Islam is true intellectually, and job done, and they'll accept Islam. But here, let's say in the UK, you could be intellectually, like me. I was intellectually convinced Islam was true, but it was going to cost me my daughters and my missus and my business and my father's relationship and all of these things. Plus, where was I going to live? What was I going to do? And all of these things. So basically, once they were satisfied, like when this brother said to me, look, just come and stay in my house. Just, come and my brother will give you a job and things like that. So when I knew then, even though I'll be going back to scratch and losing everything, I'll have a foundation to begin again. For me, that was enough for me to accept Islam. Okay, so I don't know if it's you're talking about or someone else you're speaking to, but find out what it is that they're afraid of if they accept Islam. Are they concerned about their family members will say? Is going to affect their job? Are they in a relationship? Or are they addicted to some substances or whatever it may be? Because that might be a problem rather than convincing them Islam is true. We're awesome, Jawad. I don't know, just awesome. Maybe it's not like more redheads accept Islam, but maybe we're just outgoing personalities, so you see us more. Maybe. Do you get me? Look at for example, myself, Chris, John Fontaine. We're outgoing personalities, so maybe that's why we kind of stand out more. Maybe, I don't know. There's definitely something. You definitely do see more redheads. Are you ready for a conversation, Gina? Or would you rather do that off stream? I see you. Yeah, extrovert could well be it, maybe. Because, yeah. Well, then I suppose it's which generation you grew up in. Because if you're like a Gen Z, being ginger means nothing. If you're a Gen X, being ginger means you had to have something going for you when you were a kid. Is Gina here? I think she scrolled by. Yeah, it's a South Park. What, gingers have no souls or something. I come from a far right family. My brother said if I convert, he will punch me in the face. Oh, so it is yourself. Jump on, man. Let's have a chat. My brother mocked me. He said, "I'll go join Osama bin Laden." That was his response. And then 5 years later, he kills himself as a manic depressive. Oops, sorry, TikTok. Don't do drugs, kids. Oh, TikTok's going to give me a snowflakey a threat in a minute. I can see it coming. But maybe bullying does play a part in forming a personality, something to do with the learning early that racism isn't right. Potentially. Yeah, potentially. It could well be it. I've never been racist anyway. I have never had a racist bone in my body. My parents did. Like I always remember when we used to go to Manchester and driving down, through Berry New Road and that. And my stepmom, she'd be like, "Oh, we're in Packy Land," and then when we'd pass like through Cheetah Mill or Moss Side, now we're in Wogland. So the influence around me was pretty racist, but I myself never was. Like when I get told like go to the Packy shop and get this, that, the other, and I'm like, you mean the Asian shop? Do you know what I mean? Even at a younger age, I'm like, I knew it was. Why is this calling that? Now I don't think she was like being derogatory in that way. It's just I lived in a white council estate, so Packy shop was the Packy shop, wasn't it? Your live has been flagged for hate speech and hateful behavior. Oh my god! Your live contains scenes that may. Oh my god! I knew it. I knew there was a threat coming from TikTok telling me that I've said something that's snowflakey. Your live is not eligible for recommendation, restricted in search results for the next 10 minutes because your live does not comply with the For You feed eligibility standards. Let me try to appeal that. It's proper flipping. Proper snowflake. Just restart. I don't know if that does the job, to be honest. Yes, Sargon.
Good morning,
Good morning.
or good afternoon, or good evening.
Good afternoon.
Yeah, so when you say, why do we believe that Christianity is true, are you saying like the Bible, or are you saying like the religion of Christianity?
Well, I'm pretty sure you'll come to the Bible. So it'll start with why is Christianity true? And then the premises for your beliefs will come from the Bible anyway. So we'll get there.
Well, we believe in the Bible, like I believe in the Bible.
Mm.
My own subjective opinion is because the Bible speaks about our people. It talks about our ancient people, and it also talks about our people in the present. Like if you want to go back to the Old Testament, it speaks about our people, it speaks about our kings, speaks about, how our people actually repented to the God of Israel. In the New Testament, Jesus literally mentions our name inside of the book. Our people were present at the time of the preaching of the apostles in a city called Edessa and Antioch. I don't know if you're familiar with those cities.
Mm-hmm.
And our people were pagans at the time of the preaching of the apostles in what you call modern day Iraq, Syria, Turkey, and Iran. And so they accepted the preaching of the apostles. And we were called Christians, and ever since, we will always be Christians. But see, Christian is a Greek, Latin, English word, you can say. We called ourselves Mashiachia in our language of Aramaic. So the ones that follow the Messiah.
Mm-hmm.
Mashiachia, we would call ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So this became a part of our culture. Christianity, to us, it's not only a religion. It's a part of our culture. It's who we are. It's what we are.
Okay, so when you read the New Testament, you believe you're reading reliable history?
I think so, yeah. It does say that the apostles did go to the city of Antioch and stuff like that. That is actually true. That did actually happen.
Okay.
It says that they send apostles to the cities to preach the gospel. You know what I'm saying? There's actually many apostles and disciples that are not even mentioned inside of the New Testament, but we can find outside sources to see that these disciples of Jesus were actually there. We even had a king who actually converted to Christianity. I think that's one of the big reasons why many people in that region, the region that people call the Middle East, we don't call it the Middle East. We call it the cradle of civilization in our language.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how the Middle East got crept into it, but to us, we don't label it the Middle East.
Mm-hmm.
So most majority of the people basically followed their king.
Okay, so you believe Jesus had to die for your sins, yeah?
Had to die for our sins? That's what he chose to do. You know what I'm saying?
Did he have to do it? Was it necessary? Was it necessary?
Or not? I'm not the all-knowing person. So, like, if I was there at that time during the time of Jesus, I wouldn't know if he had to, but that's what he chose to, because I'm not all-knowing.
Well,
so
he did.
I wouldn't know exactly the plan of God.
Well, according to your.
It was after the fact that he died and resurrected that the apostles and disciples wrote the fact that he had to die. It was the mission that he had to die.
No.
But did they know that he had to die? No, I don't think they knew that he had to die.
No. Look. Okay. Jesus didn't want to die, did he?
Jesus didn't want to die?
No. According to your text.
I don't think he wanted to die, but again.
So it was against his will then. Okay.
It was his mission to come save his people, basically.
But he still didn't want to die.
Whether he wanted to die or not, it doesn't change the fact that.
Well, you said he chose to. You said he wanted to die. You said he chose to.
But whether or not he wanted to die or not, it was his mission. He willingly.
Why did he have to die? Why did he have to die?
So we know that God is all-knowing, that he knew that if he came down and took on human flesh, that people would unalive him. Because he's God, he's all-knowing, right? He knew that one day that if he took on human flesh, that he would come down, that people would crucify him, right? If he's God, he would know those things, right?
Would God know if he took on human flesh and came down, people would crucify him? Depends what he says.
Yeah, God would know those things, right?
It depends what he says, isn't
So
it?
then he willingly, if he knew these things, because we say he's God, obviously he knew these things. He knew these things would happen. So he willingly participated in taking on human flesh, knowing that people would do utter and evil things to him. He still willingly took those things on.
No, but the point is this: why did he have to take these things on? Why did he need to be crucified? What was the purpose of his crucifixion?
To save his people from their sins.
And how did that save people from their sins?
How does Jesus taking on a human? It's basically like this. Like, say you have a child, right? And you want to protect your child. You want to protect your child at all costs. God forbid somebody comes up to your child with a pew-pew and tries to unalive him. You would step in front of your child and take that pew-pew for your child, right?
Right. How does that answer my question?
So you would save your child by giving your own life up, right?
So who is Jesus saving us from?
Who is he saving us from?
Yeah.
He's saving us from our own sins.
But you just use a third party. You said that if you have a child and someone tries to pew him, that you would jump in front of that pew to save that child.
Yeah,
So
because you love
right.
your
So
child.
in this okay. So in this analogy, we're the child, or you're the child. Jesus is the one jumping in front. Who's shooting the gun?
He's jumping in the front of the evil and taking basically the bullet for our people, or the people, and taking away our sins.
What does that even mean?
Basically.
What does that even mean? Who is the one he's saved? Who is Jesus saving us from?
It clearly, he saved us from the evil one. That's who he saved us from.
Who's the evil?
God
Who's the
saved us
evil?
From the evil. You don't believe that God saved you from evil?
Who's he saving you from?
From evil.
So Jesus had to die to save you from the devil.
Jesus did die. Whether or not he had to die, we didn't know that he had
So
to
Jesus
die.
died.
It was his mission.
Let me understand this.
So Jesus knew himself that.
No, but let me
he was
understand.
going to die.
Okay, let me understand. So Jesus died to save you from the devil. Is that what you believe?
Jesus died to save us from evil, from all evil.
Right.
Whether the devil or not the devil, every evil that exists.
And how has he saved you from evil?
Because he's God.
No, how has he done it though? So are you saying you can't be touched by evil anymore?
No, I can't be attacked by evil. If I believe in Jesus Christ,
You can't be attacked by evil. So you can't sin.
Well, hold on. Let me ask you a question. Do you believe that somebody can attack you by evil if you believe in Allah?
Yes. Okay. Do you believe that Jesus died so you can no longer sin? Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
So you don't sin?
No, that's not what we said. That's not what I said. You're putting words into my mouth.
I just clarified what you said.
I never said that because Jesus took on a human flesh and then he took our sins on the cross, therefore we cannot commit sins anymore. We still have a human.
So you can still commit sin?
Of course we can. Everybody can commit sins.
So what was
If you believe in his blood and stay away from those things, then you'll be saved.
Stay away from what things?
From all evil things.
What evil things?
Any evil thing that there is out there.
What, eating meat sacrificed to an idol? Is that evil?
Eating meat sacrificed to an idol, yeah, according to the book of Acts and Paul, yes.
No, not according to Paul. Paul says you can do it.
No, Paul didn't say that you could do it.
Yeah, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does. He justifies it, saying that these idols are nothing.
Take your Islamic interpretation of the other verse in Ephesians, am I correct?
I'm not giving you no Islamic version of anything, mate. I'm just reading the text.
Yeah, can you show me any scholar that actually points out that Paul says that it's okay to go inside of a pagan, idolatrous,
No one said
worship
no.
and sacrifice those?
Can you knowingly no? That okay. That's not what I said, is it? Oh, okay. So let me ask you a question. If you know, no. You ain't doing that nonsense. We don't roll with that nonsense. We don't roll with that nonsense. No, I didn't.
Sir, I just have to ask you a question.
When did I say? When did?
Hold on.
Look, you're gonna get dropped if you don't calm down. All right, I'm gonna have to mute you. I'm gonna have to mute you, sir. Okay, I've had to mute you. And the reason I've had to mute you, I didn't say, is it evil to go inside a temple and to wait for the sacrifice to take place and then participate in this? I didn't say that. I asked a very simple question. Can you eat meat if you know that it was sacrificed to animals? Sorry, sacrificed to idols. That was my question. Is that evil?
Yeah, you could, but you just can't participate in those evil.
All right, no one mentioned participating in rituals. Well, the point is this. Can you eat the meat that has been sacrificed to idols? Yes or no?
Yes, you could. Yes.
You can.
As long as you don't participate in those things, that you are the one actually sacrificing those things to the idols and the pagan gods, then sure, you can eat that meat because there's nothing wrong with the meat. The meat is still the meat.
Right. But that's not what Justin Martyr said when Trifo said that to him about Christians believing what you just said.
What does Justin Martyr say?
He says you're not a true Christian if you think you could eat meat sacrificed to idols.
According to your interpretation?
No, call it Justin Martyr. Call it Justin Martyr.
According to your interpretation of Justin Martyr, right?
No, verbatim.
No, that's according to your interpretation of Justin Martyr.
How is that my interpretation?
People that take Justin Martyr and give a different interpretation.
I'm not exegeting the passage, mate. I'm just reading you what it says. Just read what it says, mate.
No, but there's an interpretation of what they say, right? We can't just take a passage of what people say.
Okay.
This is what he actually meant.
Trifo says to him.
Hold on, sir, relax. If that was the case, and the church says that Justin Martyr is an early church father, why would the church
Oh dear.
nowadays in this present day?
That's your dilemma, mate. That's your dilemma.
Oh, it's a dilemma now. So the church is wrong then.
Probably, yes.
The church doesn't follow Justin Martyr.
The church is all over the place, mate. 1 second.
Okay.
Let me read what Justin Martyr says. And then you I'll tell you what he says, and then you tell me how you understand it.
Let's make a difference to us.
And the disciples of Jesus told you can't eat it as well. Okay. So Justin Martyr says, strongly condemn Christians who ate meat sacrificed to idols, labeling them wolves in sheep's clothing. In his dialogue with Trifo, he argued that such participation represented a dangerous compromise with demonic forces, often causing schisms, and declared that true followers of Jesus must completely abstain from pagan sacrifices.
You're cutting out. I can't even hear what you're saying.
Oh, you didn't hear what I said? I'll do it again then. Justin Martyr strongly...
I kind of heard what you said. Again, you were saying that Justin Martyr said that Christians who eat meat sacrificed to idols are condemned, blah, 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 right?
Not true followers of Jesus, yes.
Yeah, sure. Did you maybe possibly think that he may be talking about those Christians, or there were people that actually participated in that practice?
No, he doesn't say that. He said, and declared that true followers of Jesus must completely abstain from pagan sacrifices.
Yeah, we do abstain from pagan sacrifices.
No, meat sacrificed to an idol is a pagan sacrifice.
Okay, did Justin Martyr say that they must abstain from doing pagan sacrifices? Yes or no?
Okay, Justin Martyr said, Christians who ate meat sacrificed to idols, labeling them sheeps in wolves' clothing. Okay.
Okay, but you just said, you quoted something.
Wolves in sheep's clothing, should I say?
You just
yes.
Quoted saying Justin Martyr said that Christians must abstain from sacrificing meats, eating meat, from sacrificing those animals in the name of those gods. Is that not what you just said?
What I said to you is this. He condemned Christians who ate meat sacrificed to idols, labeling them wolves in sheep's clothing. He argued that such participation of eating this meat represented a dangerous compromise with demonic forces, often causing schisms, and declared that true followers of Jesus must completely abstain from pagan sacrifices.
Yeah, I think Justin Martyr, according to my subjective point of view, from what Justin Martyr is saying, that he thinks that if Christians decide to take place in those pagan places...
No, he didn't say that.
That's what I think he said.
You're trying to justify your position. You're going to just make stuff up. Yeah, of course you're going to do that. That's what Christians do. You invent stuff. You just invent stuff. You just invent stuff. That's all.
Oh, I invent stuff.
Yeah, you ignore the apparent. This is the problem Christians have. You ignore the apparent. You ignore the apparent. You dwell in ambiguous. No. Shush. Islam has got nothing to do with why you believe Christianity is true. I don't know why you're bringing it up. Okay, the point here is this.
There's a reason why you're saying these things, because
I'm saying these things because you said you make the claim. No. Okay, I have to do. I have to do this now. Sorry, mate. I can't do it while you're here. It's just pointless exercise. So the point here is this. Let me show you the strand. Okay, you said Jesus died for your sins, protect you from evil. Okay, then you said that eating animals sacrificed to idols is evil. Then I said Paul taught that. Then I showed you what Justin Martyr said. And actually, you changed it. You said you could eat it. No, you said you couldn't eat it. And then you said you could eat it. So you flip-flopped on it. And then I showed you what Justin Martyr thought about Christians who thought you could. And how Paul taught you could. And that was the problem. And then I don't know what you did with Islam. I don't know why you brought Islam into it. I've no idea why Islam got even mentioned. I really don't. Yes, Pat. Pat. Oops, Pat's gone.
Hey, good morning, Salam, Mr. Hamza. How are you?
I'm good, man.
I don't know why I was muted for sharing the live.
I think you're spamming, that's why, maybe.
No, I wasn't spamming, bro. How am I spamming sharing? How is sharing spamming?
Yeah, but you're taking over the whole comment section with your shares.
I never knew that. I'm trying to help boost your life. But anyways,
Yeah, thank you.
I have a question, Mr. Hamza. In chapter 41, 44 in the Quran, what does it mean to all the non-speaking Arabs?
No, I don't know what you're talking about. What's the verse?
In chapter 41, 44 of the Quran, it says we have brought down the Quran in one language. What language is that?
Say it again, sorry. One second. 41, 44, you said?
Correct.
Bismillah. Had we revealed it as a non-Arabic Quran, they would have certainly argued, if only its verses were made clear in our language. Yeah, what a non-Arabic revelation from an Arab audience. Says your prophet. It is a guide and a healing to the believers. Yeah, what's your point? I don't understand.
So any translation outside of that Arabic Quran is not valid, right?
No, it's not saying that. It's saying that the Quran was revealed to Arabs, therefore it should be in their language.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, Yani, my question is, how many languages does Allah know? Does Allah know only Arabic, or how many languages?
Okay, if you're revealing a book through Arabs, then you reveal the book in Arabic, and it was preserved in that language.
And can you guys unmute me from the comments, please? I want to put this verse in Quran chapter 16, verse 36. Can you bring that up too?
You're not Muslim, are you?
No, I want. This is.
No, but are you a Christian? See the fate of the deniers. What's your point?
What's your Quran? Do you reading?
It doesn't matter, does it? What's your point?
Can you repeat the verse?
No, I'm not going to. Do you want to answer the question why you believe Christianity is true? Oh, you left. What's going on there? My mic is choppy, did you say? Let me leave the studio and come back. I don't want to end the stream, I just want to leave. How do I leave? Ta-da! Oh, is he doing chipmunk voice again? Oh, I think the way we dealt with that last time was to amp the mic. Did that solve the problem now? How is that now? Are we okay again? Are we back? Are we back cooking with gas? Okay. No, because I'm on YouTube as well, you see, that was all. And my mic went all funny on there. Yeah. If more than one Christian wants to come on at a time, I'll allow that. If there's more than one Christian, you can come up together. I don't mind. You're more than welcome. If you need to hold each other's hand, you're more than welcome to. Mm-hmm. So you can read it what it says. Christians, why do you believe Christianity is true? It's been resolved. Okay, alhamdulillah. Jump on, Rigger, man. Have a chat. Yes, Khalid. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum, brother.
Wa alaikum salam.
I'm just here to say hello. Assalamu alaikum. I love you. Love your videos. Keep it up. And hope everything is going great with you.
Jazakallah khair. Assalamu alaikum.
Thank you. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.
Any Christians in the chat agree with God logic that the Father eternally generates the Son? Because I am trying to understand what that means. If there's any
any Christians that want to explain that. Tag logic, man. Bring logic here. Let's see if he can explain what he meant by that. Because I don't understand what he meant by that. And I don't think many Christians understand it either. Yeah, that's the same thing for Lana. Eternally begotten, eternally generated. I don't see the... No, they can't say eternally begotten. They've got to say eternally generated. Walaikum assalam, little pink bow. Where's all the Christian TikTokers, man? There's loads of them. There's loads of them. Where are they? Oh, Lucy. Okay, Lucy. So that's a little pink bow. How are you doing, Lucy? Are you feeling better? To be honest, when I watch these clips, I have no idea of the syntax. Yeah, I just want to understand what it means that the Father is eternally generated. So the Father eternally generates the Son. Alhamdulillah. Yeah, I'm cool. I'm back in Blighty now. So you got a poor theological lexicon. Me too. I mean, someone just tried to explain it to me, but they use more confusing words than anything. More confusing than that. Eternally generated, I kind of get eternally. Does that mean forever? Or does that mean perpetually? And generated, obviously produced or whatever. But then he started throwing in new words that I didn't understand the meaning to. You know, I'm a poor lay guy. And I'm pretty sure that most Christians are clueless when it comes to these arguments. They just hope that the people they're following are right. I would never, ever say, this is the most I would say. Do I believe somebody won a debate? I'd say, well, they look like they won the debate. But if you asked me how they won the debate, I wouldn't have a clue. So I could never say, yes, they won the debate. I could say they looked like it. And there are a lot of rhetorical masters who look like they win a debate, when in the reality is the audience are clueless. Like, for example, me and God Logic, when it came to whether or not Paul was following the disciples of Jesus, and then he said, did Muhammad follow the disciples of Jesus? The most Christians watching didn't understand my argument. Logic understood my argument. He deliberately played a red herring, then muted me, and then kicked me. All right. Created the impression that he'd responded in a very clever, funny way, and I run. Yeah? But I guarantee you, when I speak to Christians and ask, how did Logic destroy me, or bake me, or cook me, or boil me, or whatever he does with his stirring, yeah? You ain't going to be able to tell me. Because you don't even understand what was going on. You just fell for the rhetoric and the theatrics and all that business, where I don't play that. I just deal with arguments. Yeah, you don't understand because you don't have the Spirit. Yeah. I don't believe the Holy Spirit exists, man. Seriously, because it's not doing anything. It's not it's not doing a job that it should be doing. Hamza, all human has right to live, whether they belong to other faith, when God has sent them. What does that even mean? Thank you, Unfiltered Energy MTL. There's more activity on YouTube than TikTok today. What's going on? Come on, Christians, come and tell me what eternally generated means. I was debating with someone when they couldn't answer something, just said they see the works of God. I'd say how? How do you see the works of God, and what does that evidence? I look at this word from the Yank Theo debates, meta epistemology. Meta epistemology. Yeah. That just means epistemologist means the history, isn't it? The of it. You got 55 here, which is big for alive. Yeah, I can go. Is it? I don't know. I'm not quite sure. I mean, we can get pushed. We push past that, don't we? We had like, for mashallah, for the arena, we was up to the 400s. And we maintained that for 10 hours, which was pretty cool. The study of knowing knowledge. Study of knowing. Yeah, so it's like the history of the knowledge, yeah, kind of thing. Like, where does the knowledge arise from? I would say. Oi, Amza, what takes place means happens. Humza, what about terrorist groups like Boko Haram or they're killing humanity? Yeah, that's terrible. Anyone killing innocent human beings, I completely condemn, and I don't care who they are, whether they're Muslims or whether they're Christians or atheists or Jews. If you're unaliving innocent people, then I condemn that completely and unequivocally. Answer the Islamic dilemma. There ain't no dilemma. Answer the question, Christians. Don't worry about Islam. Look, it's very, very simple. You're Christians. You believe Islam is false. So don't worry what any Muslim tells you about their religion because you believe it's false, because you believe Christianity is true. And because Christianity is true, Islam has to be false. So don't worry about it. Worry about what you think is true. Everyone can't deny about take place. Okay, yeah, you say something takes place, it means it occurs, it happens. What you can deny is whether something did take place. So you can't argue about the take place part, but whether that particular thing did take place, that you could argue that. Why don't I do the same? What do you mean? I do the same. I believe Islam is true. Yeah, I'm trying to bring Christians to Islam. So to do that, I need to take Christianity off them. That's my whole MO. So I try to understand the psychology of Christians and why you believe what you do. Heard Hamza got roasted at the Hyde Park event last Sunday. Yeah, really? Roasted on what? Roasted on what? Which remind me how I got roasted. What was the argument? That was a proper Yoda where you did that skits and blitz. At Hajara, yes, they do. Big the words, smarter you are. You heard, I think that's hilarious. Tell me how it go. Jump on, Harry. Don't just say it there and don't come on. Tell me what I got roasted on, or what did you hear? Tell us what you heard. Hamza, I feel whether Christianity or Islam, God reveal itself in different ways. Can't say Islam is false or Christianity. You can. One of them has to be false. Both have to be false, or one has to be false. Walaikum assalam, Ayaz. Oh, you said Star Trek, the part that you mentioned, the young white kid. Yeah. Turns out he was a TikToker. I believe he got clipped by Hashim. Okay, mashallah.
Hello, Hamza.
How you doing, mate? You still clinging onto your Christianity?
Yeah, it's the hill I'm choosing to die on for the moment. I'm at the moment, Hamza. I'm in study mode. You know what I mean? I'm more in position to listen for a while because the more I study, the more my mind's opening to things. So I'll come back to you when I have. But when I come back to you for debate, this is going to be my strategy, so you can prepare too, right? So when you get your arguments, you better have them in Arabic, right? And you better have them in very highfalutin Arabic that Arabs don't even know. And I'm going to find English words and break them down into big German and Latin. So I'm going to confuse the shit out of you too. And it's a game of who can come up with the biggest words about religion until we both confuse ourselves. And the words are going to get so big, it'll go full circle. I'll end up speaking Arabic and you'll end up speaking Latin. And then we'll just get really confused until the week afterwards. It's basically, I'm going to come back at you with arguments with massive words I've never heard before.
I look forward to it.
I'm going to make you look foolish for not understanding what the big words mean.
Listen, I'm a thicko. I never claimed to be intelligent. I have no academic training. I've got no degrees. I'm just poor little left school at the age of 15 with crappy GCSEs, mate. So you could try to confuse me with big words. I'll just ask you what they mean. Yeah. The funny thing is, you ask somebody what does the long word means, and their explanation of what the long word means involves like three more long words. What the hell do they mean then? I get your point. Skits, take care, son.
Take care, man.
Ta-da. Just so you know, he wasn't trolling, but he was basically saying that's what these debates look like. That it's just long words, and each side thinks they won because the other person looked like they didn't address the long words, which is fine. But you can't go around saying somebody won or lost on that basis. What's unfiltered energy? GMTL saying. Son of a revert. My mom showed me Islam in a way I love. Faith. Knowing Allah and His mercies above our sins is key. 5 prayers changed my life. Alhamdulillah. I was just saying this to the witch who I gave Shahada to yesterday, that one of the beautiful things about Islam is you don't have this kind of pressure on you that you've got to be this perfect human being, because Allah has never expected that from you. He just expects your best. And when you make a mistake, you can just turn back and seek forgiveness and carry on. Brush yourself down, get on with it. You know, this idea is trying to achieve a perfect state that you never can do. It is gone in Islam, which I think is absolutely brilliant. So it takes the pressure off. And just as you've said there, knowing Allah and His mercy is above our sins is key. Subhanallah. And I would 100% agree with that. That's a beautiful, beautiful thing to say. Did I put that on the screen, actually? I think I did, but I'll put it up there anyway. MashaAllah. This is key. You're never a failure. Unlike what Paul teaches. Apparently, Paul teaches in the Bible that if you break one law, that's it. Condemned. Not what the Bible teaches. Bible teaches is completely different. What Paul teaches. welcome everybody to my Sunday chill, where I'm chilling. We're questioning Christians on TikTok as to why they believe Christianity is true. I think we've had one person attempt in 1 hour 52 minutes. I think the question's a bit scary for him, to be honest. So you could jump on TikTok as well, but the link is pinned. If you're a Christian, if you want to try to address that question, why you believe Christianity is true, this is your opportunity to preach. I'll let you go. I'm not going to interrupt you. You could tell me why you believe Christianity is true. It could be that anecdotal, I don't know, glowing light experience you may have had. It could be the Bible. It could be the church. What is it that convinces you Christianity is true? Because the Quran confirms the Bible. Yeah, but the reason why you believe Christianity is true is not because of what the Quran says, is it? How do you explain the Quran denying the crucifixion? It denies the actual person of Jesus being crucified. It doesn't deny crucifixion. How are you handsome? Good genes, can I say? Old age. Some ginger. Hey, Yusuf, what was that? They got it from Doctor Who. What did they get from Doctor Who? What? So if you're Christian, you can jump. Oh, look! I think we got a. Here we go. Oh, this guy looks like a proper mic and everything. Let's see. Well, unfortunately, TikTok, you're not gonna be able to hear this conversation because it's on YouTube. Ishmael Yusuf. Yes.
Yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me, Hamza?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, brilliant. I'm just curious about something about Christianity.
Are you a Christian?
No.
You're not Christian?
I'm not a Christian, no.
What are you?
I'm a Muslim. Can't you tell?
Well, your name's not Ismail. You've got Ishmael. So.
It travels, you know. Yeah, no, it's just to cut to the chase. It's just there's something about Christianity that, in particular, when it comes to Jesus, Christians they tend to put across Jesus, peace be upon him, being sinless, etc., etc. But as you know, according to the canonical scripture in terms of Christianity, as being accepted as the word of God, all we know about Jesus, about his life, is about 3 years. Is that correct or not?
Mm-hmm.
Without any apocryphal works.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, I just wanted to address the point. Why is it that when daddies, such as yourself and others of that nature, who are doing hard work, you have to give credit where credit's due. Why is it you don't put that point across? That if Jesus is being claimed to have been sinless, not having been made mistakes, etc., etc., how do we know about his life from, by the way, this is from a Christian perspective. How do we know about his life in totality from his birth all the way to the age of 30? What he did, what he was up to, mistakes. Did he argue with someone? Did he had a fight with someone? Did he make a mistake? How do we know for that 30 years?
You don't know. You don't know.
So therefore, how do Christians claim no mistakes on him? Of course, we know in the Quran, we know that. Allah blessed Mary with a pure child. A pure child. But we're talking about as an adult. How can they claim that he was sinless, no mistakes in that we don't know nothing about him for 30 years? According to the Christian sort of arena.
I don't know. Ask a Christian. Ask me for.
No. This is more for you guys because you normally when Christians put this argument across, you guys don't respond with these type of questions. You
No,
sort of
because
go-
it's usually a red herring point.
elaborate on that.
When would a Christian tell me that Jesus was sinless?
No, usually that's what they do to substantiate that he's God, he's Son of God, etc.
No. The only time they do that is when they're trying to compare him to Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him.
Sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Right.
So, but I don't entertain Christians' questions about Islam, so it doesn't work with me.
No, we definitely have noticed that. I think you're consistent with that, of course.
So basically, I had a Christian one time, and he was trying to make this claim. I said, "Name a sin that Muhammad did." He couldn't do it.
Right.
So we believe all the prophets were sinless in that sense. We don't believe they deliberately. We don't believe any prophet deliberately disobeyed God.
Of course, and you have in recent times you have sort of thoroughly explained that. Of course, that's really appreciated. It's just that issue. If you guys can next time sort of if you can maybe respond to that next time, more comprehensive way. Remember back in the days in England, they had that program about the Red Book. This is your Red Book. I don't know who was hosting it.
Yeah.
That type
this is your life.
Right. If we can have some kind of a this is your life for Jesus between birth and 30 years old, in that because they reject the Gospel of Thomas, where he's about what? He said 12 years old, he killed somebody by cursing, etc. But that's not canonical, is it?
No.
Therefore, you can't really. They will sort of just push that to the side, throw that under the bus. So we needed some kind of Red Book moment for Jesus, the Christian Jesus, alayhi salam, from birth to the age of 30. What was he up to? If they want to use that argument, sinless, therefore that qualifies him as some kind of deity or divine being, etc., etc.
Okay. I've not had to bring up this point unless someone's trying to compare him to another prophet, or compare him to Muhammad, peace and blessing upon him. But then I usually compare Muhammad to Moses at that point, and show them that their criteria for what is a true prophet or not is already flawed, because all the things you're attacking Muhammad for, Moses did.
Right.
According to their scripture.
No, we have to be 100%. This platform here is really appreciated. Right. Yeah, definitely. You guys put a lot of points out there across.
Jazakallah khair, bro.
All
right, my brother. I'm going to let you go now because TikTok can't hear you. And
they can't.
No, they can't hear TikTok. TikTok can't hear YouTube, only because it's in my headphones.
Oh, of course. Okay.
So I understand the point you're making. It's a great point. It just depends on which argument you're in to utilize it.
Right. Hopefully next time we'll see you use that in part of your arsenal. Inshallah.
What are they going to say? They're going to say that he was born pure. They're going to say he's a pure boy. They're going to say your Quran says. I know exactly what they're going to say.
Right. Yeah. Of course. Yeah, but how would you differentiate between that's a pure boy, that's just at birth, but as an adult growing up, teenager?
For me, I get what you're saying, but for me, it's not argument the type of argument I present. See, I'm very straightforward. Why believe Jesus was God? What you imagine he was? So was he a man that looked like a carpenter but was really God? What is it he was? Forget his childhood. What was he?
Right.
This sin business. I'm not worried. It doesn't worry me. Whether he sinned, whether he didn't sin. You could argue that the way he spoke to the woman, calling her a dog, you could say that was sinful for racism. But the point here is this: was Jesus God walking on the earth or not? If you say yes, okay, let's substantiate that. So he should be all-knowing and all-powerful and such. Yeah, and then we take it to the fig tree. End of story.
Of course, the fig tree. That's the killer.
Fig tree just ends it. Yeah, the fig tree just ends it. The fig tree ends the idea that Jesus was all-knowing. Seriously.
Right.
And once you get to the fig tree, they're either going to become horticulturalists talking about.
Break that down.
Okay, so when I did this with God Logic, it wasn't on his channel or my channel. It was on Darren. You know, Darren Dembski or whatever his name is, that black guy. The one's always.
No, I don't know him.
Anyway, he's one of these. He's a Christian TikToker. Everyone keeps telling me, "Oh, Darren destroyed you." All right. So when I went into Darren Dembski's live stream, he called God Logic on to back him up. Right. So I dealt with both of them, and I was talking about the fig tree, and Logic went along the horticultural route, saying that a fig tree if it has leaf, it could have, it should have breba fruit, which is a small fruit on it. Yeah, right. So
No way.
so you know that the following season,
Right.
there's going to be figs. Okay, because he didn't see this breba fruit, right? He condemned the tree as being a bad tree. Okay, so what happens then? I have to start Googling fig trees, horticulturalism. Do fig trees need to have breba fruit? And the answer is a resounding no. They can have, they don't have to have. Just because it doesn't have breba fruit doesn't mean it's not going to have fruit the following season. Okay, it's just nonsense. And that's what it deteriorated to. And this is why you'll never see a clip of that conversation anywhere. It was on Darren Dembski's channel. He could easily have clipped it and put it up, but he's like, shh, don't mention it. Okay.
Right. It's one of those ones.
So the fig tree destroys the whole notion of an all-knowing God being Jesus, because the things are, he didn't know there was no figs on the tree. He didn't know why there was no figs on the tree. He didn't seem capable of making figs grow on the tree. And he curses an innocent tree in his ignorance. And this is God, the one who created this tree. What do Christians say? All things were made through him. So this fig tree was made through Jesus. Jesus produced this fig tree. He knows the seasons. He knows the biology of the tree, or whatever you call it for a tree. He understands it. And yet he goes to a tree, has no figs, curses this tree, says, may no one ever eat fruit from you no more. And the next day, the tree's all withered.
Good.
What the hell is that?
What is going on? Right.
You get me? And all his disciples were like, oh, look, that tree. He goes, yeah, you see, with faith, you can move mountains. That was it. It wasn't like, wait a minute, why did you curse the tree? It remind me, if I was in this.
That expression with the mountain, is that to do with the tree situation?
No, so it's to do with the power of God, or the power of faith. That you too can do this. You too can move mountains with the power of having the faith, something along those lines. But the point is this: nobody went, Jesus, why did you curse the tree? No one questions him. Do you know what I mean? So, I say, if I want to challenge the all-knowing nature of Jesus, very very simple. What happened with the fig tree? Why didn't he know?
Simple as that. This is now. Look, I have to admit, on one hand, you guys, in particular, you guys. When I say you, I mean you and people who do your kind of work. Is you kind of took Ahmed Deedat to a next level. You went from Mega Drive to sort of like, what was it, PlayStation 5 and beyond. So yeah, I like that. No, keep it up, Hamza. Definitely, man.
Yeah. Look, we're standing on the shoulders of giants. Without my biggest inspirations in doing dawah was Ahmed Deedat and Khalid Yassin, both of them. Yeah. Have you seen Khalid Yassin?
Yes. But not for a while now. I've been just watching.
No. Have you seen Khalid Yassin, Purpose of Life?
Not a lot of it, but maybe a video here or two. But not. I don't really.
You need to watch Khalid Yassin's Purpose of Life 1, 2, and 3. You need to watch Khalid Yassin's Jesus, Prophet of Allah, Subhanallah. Next level. So his daimonism, my style of debate is his daimonism coupled with Ahmed Deedat's tenacity and audacity.
Yassin's dynamism coupled with
Deedat's audacity and tenacity. Yeah, because Khalid Yassin didn't debate. Khalid Yassin lectured. Ahmed Deedat debates. So what I've done is combine the daimonism of Khalid Yassin with the debate style of Ahmed Deedat, and them two together are serious.
Right, Jackie Chan with Bruce Lee, just in
something like that,
and go out there and get some action.
maybe Bruce Lee and Jet Li, maybe. All right, my brother.
Oh, there you are. That's all right, man. No, it's a pleasure. It's a pleasure talking to you, man.
Take care, Akhi. Keep up the good work.
Take care, brother.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Oh, he's a nice brother, mashallah.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hi, are you Muslim?
Yes, are you a Christian?
Yeah.
Oh, good man. You come to answer the question, yeah?
I'm not sure why.
Huh?
There's an apple in.
What happened? Imagine coming onto a live stream with me and asking me, am I a Muslim? That's a wrong turn if you're a Christian straight away. Oh, dear. Hello?
Hello.
Yeah, hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, I believe that it's true because of Daniel's 490-year prophecy. Prophecy starts off with after the Babylonian exile, 5th century BCE. Daniel says that after the Babylonian exile, it'll start 490-year prophecy where the Most Holy would be anointed in the 69th week. This countdown starts after the Babylonian exile, which is Ezra chapter 7, the word of Artaxerxes to go forward and restore. This is 457 BCE. Now, this starts the 490-year countdown. So
did he cut off? I think he cut off. What happened there? No, he didn't leave. He just sort of like cut off. I don't know what happened. Let me invite him again. Maybe I get a better connection if I went off Wi-Fi on the phone. I just went to mobile data. Maybe. I don't know. No, I think it's better with the Wi-Fi. It's better with the Wi-Fi. Better with the mobile data. It's better with the Wi-Fi. But imagine coming on to a stream as a Christian, not knowing who I was, having to ask me, "Are you a Muslim?" I was interested in what this geezer was up to, where he was going with it. So, prophecy in Daniel, yada yada. The link is pinned. What are you doing backstage, Ishmael? Get out of here. It's pinned on the chat. It's pinned in the comment section. I think I'm going to have another cup of tea. Let me see if I can fashion myself another cup. I sent an invitation to that guy who was banging on about Daniel. Oh, what's your channel called? I'm on TikTok. It's Hamza's Den 2.0. 2.0 Cookie Monster. There you go. Iram's put it there for you. Oh, look at that! Look at that streak of grey there. Mashallah, we got a good audience on YouTube today. That's nice. But where are the people? What's this go F yourself 9/11 going on about? Would I ever dye my hair? I don't think so. I don't think so. It's going to be grey soon, and all of it. No ginger left. Then I'll have to dye it ginger. I think I'm going to make myself a cup of tea for the last... we got another hour and 10 minutes, I think. My grey will just look blonde. You think so? It looks grey. My TikTok is on Hamza's Den 2.0. I don't want to use henna. I like to show off my stress. Or wisdom. Not stress, wisdom. I think my beard takes all my stress, to be honest with you. Wa alaikum assalam, zero sugar. Wisdom is better than stress, maybe. My stress has to go somewhere. I think I've done well today. Have I kept my demeanor? I've kept the calm, super Sunday chill calmness. Even when we've had like kind of crazies on. You're on it, but it's not showing me your life. I don't know. Hey, story limits from Nigeria. Yeah, there's two profiles. There's 2.0 and then there's Hamza's Den. Walaikum salam, Harper. Yeah, everything's good. You're making chicken biryani and listening to me. Oh, very nice. I think I'm going to make a cup of tea. Should I make a cup of tea or should I get a cup of tea made for me? Let's get a cup of tea made for me. All right, I'll be back in a minute. Just going to see if I can scrounge a cup of tea. That was that. Who's making biryani? Somebody said here. Mofaz Ullah. You need a. Do I need a subscription to view my live? No. You shouldn't do. How was shopping yesterday? Shopping where? Oh, you mean when I was in the shop? No, that's my shop. Any more Christians like to have a conversation? I promise you, I'm not going to humiliate you. Call you Mufti. Any Christian want to have a conversation with me? Walaikum salam, Johnny Newcomb. I promise you, I won't humiliate. I'm not here to humiliate Christians. Just try to understand you. Oh wait, I think you might have limited your live based on region. I haven't done anything like that. Let me see settings. Hear your voice, live recording, moderators, mark views. How would you change your region? I'm not seeing anything like that. Because I said T, you're making one. Yeah. Just 1 second. I just need to go and see. She doesn't seem to have moved yet. So I need to. I don't know how to unblock and unblock on TikTok. I'm not going to lie. Okay, Christians, come on, stop being scared. Who's this Mary Bibi? Is the UK as Islamophobic as I've heard it is? It depends on your region, I suppose. I haven't blocked it. I don't believe I've blocked you on TikTok, Cookie Monster. I don't know how even to look at the blocked people. Why am I using the Xbox headset? Because my gaming headset. What do I play? I don't know what I'm going to pick up next. I've got a choice of 3 games. And it's either Windrose, it's either Crimson Desert, or it's going to be Bannerlord. No, there's no ban on. They ban the niqab. Nah, they don't ban the niqab here. They may try to. They may try to, but they haven't yet. All it takes is someone to do a false flag operation hiding in a niqab, and then they'll have some kind of security risk involved. And like some of the far right have started wearing niqabs on their demonstrations now, and the buyers. Yeah, I was playing DayZ as well. How you doing, Anas? Okay, we're coming up to the last hour, guys. It's terrible. Terrible. Christians are scared to defend their beliefs, man. They've got no passion. Never heat up tea water in a microwave. Cancer water, remember the test where all plants given microwave water died. And microwaves kill nutrition and meat, etc. 69% you end up sick and puny like a vegan. Thank you, Northman Dower. It's almost 3 o'clock here. It's almost 3 o'clock. Mm-hmm. Why am I staring into your soul? I was looking for something. Do you have any non-Muslim sources showing Abraham was in Mecca? I don't think so. They're scared because you're scared the no logic bots by questioning his knowledge. Maybe. But they used to be all over the Christians used to be all over the TikTok. And they, I don't know. I thought there was like a power thing of Christianity going on here. I thought like they were like proper robust. They must be scratching their heads watching God Logic debates, thinking, "What the hell's he saying?" Do you think he's trustworthy? I saw he was kind of weird a few years back. He's just making money. He's just making bank. That's it. Where are you, Soy Viviana? Oh, did you tell us? Did you tell us? Didn't you tell us you was in Switzerland? Was it Switzerland you said you were? Yes.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
I had a question. Who do you think is the best Islamic apologist besides yourself, of course?
Muslim Lantern.
Why?
Because he can deal with Christians, atheists. He has the Arabic, he has Hadith, he has the knowledge. He's an all-rounder. He's calm. He can slap when needs to.
How about Libiano? What are your thoughts on Libiano?
Yeah, he's very, very good as well. I like, but my favorite is Muslim Lantern.
Yeah, I find Libiano really aggressive.
I don't mind. I don't mind aggressiveness. I think he's calmed down a little bit, to be honest.
Yeah.
But no, Muslim Lantern for me is number one.
I feel like Dean responds. I'm pretty sure he's like. I kind of find him like
bro. I don't. I'm not here to diagnose all the. You asked me who I think is the best. Muslim Lantern. I don't start talking about people who are not here. All right, my brother.
Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. So have you ever done like a dual debate with Muslim Lantern?
I'm sorry.
Have you ever done like a dual debate, like a 2-on-2?
I haven't. No.
Do you ever plan on doing one?
Don't know. Who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, I'd be down. I'd be down to see one.
Inshallah.
Anyways, assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you, Johnny Newcomb. Oh, you're in New Jersey. Okay. We got another girl in New Jersey, Rose with Thorns. She's in New Jersey as well. I think she's a revert as well, mashallah. Yeah, I love the Libiano and Dean points against Christianity. I just feel that Muslim Lantern is an all-rounder. Is Rose with Thorns Pakistani in New Jersey? No. Rose with Thorns in Pakistani in New Jersey? Never believe that. I swear she's a revert. Maybe I'm wrong. What do I know? Oh, come on. I want a guest. Come on, Christians. Onward, Christian soldiers. soldiers marching us to war with the glove of Jesus marching on before. Come on, what are you? Roll them sleeves up, Christians. Come and tell us. Come and preach, brother, preach. Do you think they really are scared of me, man? All these guys that think I lose every debate I have. Do you think they're actually afraid of coming saying hello? That really it. TikTok Christians as well. Imagine TikTok Christians. You mopped up the TikTok Christians. And the atheists. What happened to the atheists? Atheists are just gone. The atheist has left the building. What happened to the atheists, man? Do you think it's because I don't care about them? Maybe. I think they've lost the intellectual edge, atheists. I think they've realized that intelligent design is too heavy to handle because everyone's pushing the DNA angle now, and you can't respond to it. Because I'm even changing my strategy with them now as well. You know, I'm going to say to them, why do you believe the information in DNA is a product of randomness? Hallelujah. Bismillah. Oh, you watched that nice lady, the one I called Molly at the end. Okay, I'll show you. I'm eating. I'm eating scones with butter and jam. We had another Debbie the other day, Carrie. The one who was mourning over her baby that died 20 years ago. And she's got 12 kids. You don't like it? They're so nice, toasted, hot, with butter and jam. If you could give us any reason to trust Muhammad's information. Yeah, because he's the messenger of God.
Assalamu alaikum.
Waalaikum salam.
What's happening?
Just chilling.
Cool.
What do you want?
Why do I believe that Christianity is true?
Are you a Christian?
Yes, I'm an ex-Muslim as well.
Okay. Do you believe Christianity is true?
Yes,
Why?
because it's a fulfillment of the promise given to Abraham that God will bless all the nations through his seed, and it's fulfilled through Jesus and his resurrection, and that whoever believes in Jesus will receive that blessing.
Okay, so what do you mean about Jesus? What did he do?
He died for our sins.
He died for our sin. What does that mean?
That we receive atonement through his blood, his crucifixion and resurrection, and that we receive life through his resurrection because he defeated death, right? And historically, Jesus was a real person, and he truly got crucified because that's what history says. And I know that history does deny the resurrection because they don't really account for miracles. But what we do know is that his early followers truly believed that he resurrected, including his apostles. And the early church believed that as well. And this is what spread throughout the all nations. And yeah, we've got manuscripts as well, over 25,000 manuscripts, consistent message. And this is why we trust in Christianity. This is why Christianity is true. Even the Quran thought it was true.
Okay, so you think the manuscripts are an evidence for the truthfulness of Christianity?
Not just that, just the resurrection as well.
But the resurrection is based upon the manuscripts.
And eyewitness testimony.
Which eyewitness testimony do you have?
The apostles.
Which ones?
Matthew, John, Mark, Peter.
Where does you get the testimony from Mark about a resurrection?
It's in his gospel, the Gospel of Mark.
It ends with the empty tomb. Where do you get the idea that Jesus rose from the dead?
It doesn't say in the Gospel of Mark that Jesus resurrected.
Just an empty tomb. Why do you believe?
Show me.
Why do you believe what the Gospel of Mark says anyway?
Because it's the earliest written gospel about Jesus.
Yeah, but why does that make it true?
And Mark was a companion of Peter, so Peter gave him that information, right?
So Mark's not an eyewitness.
Well, Mark was a scribe for Peter, right? And Peter was obviously the first pope, and he saw the miracles of Jesus and the teachings of Jesus. And we know that only someone who knew the teachings of Jesus will have that information.
So Mark wasn't an eyewitness. So Mark wasn't an eyewitness.
Mark was with the apostles, so he knew the eyewitnesses.
But he wasn't an eyewitness.
No, is that a problem?
Well, it's not eyewitness testimony then, is it? Okay. And who is Mark?
We've got Matthew and John.
Okay.
We've got Matthew and John.
Okay. Matthew. Did Matthew copy from Mark?
Well, he used them as a source.
Why would an eyewitness use a non-eyewitness as a source?
I mean, he didn't use everything that Mark had. You know, he had his own stuff in there, like the Sermon on the Mount Matthew had, but Mark didn't, you know.
Yeah, but why would he use the works of Mark if he was an eyewitness?
I'm not sure, but, you know, it's not to say that...
It's a question mark, isn't it?
You know, Mark...
It's a question mark.
Yeah, that's something to look into, but it's not to say that.
Well, let's continue. Let's continue our interrogation of Matthew. So Matthew is a bit suspect at the moment because he doesn't claim to be an eyewitness. It's not him who's making the claim he's an eyewitness. So it's not necessarily on the author of Matthew. But anyway, the author of Matthew, you believe was an eyewitness, is now copying from somebody who wasn't an eyewitness. This is the first point. Second point, didn't he speak about King Herod killing the babies of Bethlehem and in its vicinity?
Who, Matthew? I don't know about that, bro.
Yeah, he did. So Matthew, in his gospel, spoke about how King Herod was ordered the unaliving of babies from the age of 2 to 0 in Bethlehem and its vicinity. And then Matthew continues saying this was a fulfillment of a prophecy in Jeremiah, where Rachel is weeping in Ramah for her children. She cannot be consoled, for they are all gone. So he talks about this King Herod killing babies, and then he acts like it's fulfillment of prophecy from Jeremiah.
So how does this make Christianity false?
It's not making Christianity false. What it's doing is questioning the reliability of the Gospels, the Gospel writers, should I say, because there's no historical evidence for King Herod killing any babies in Bethlehem. No one mentions it in history. No mothers of the babies who were slaughtered mention it to anybody. The only person who mentions it is Matthew. Yeah, you have a historian, Flavius Josephus, who's writing about all the atrocities King Herod committed, doesn't mention it either. So where we should expect to see a report of this culling of the babies of Bethlehem, we see nothing.
Okay, so you're questioning the authorship of these Gospels, but we get reliable information about Jesus from these Gospels. So how do we know?
Well, this is the point. This is what we're questioning. Is the information reliable? So you think the Gospel of Matthew is reliable. It's quoting history that didn't exist. Yeah. And it's using a prophecy of Jeremiah out of context. So the author of Matthew is taking some from the prophecy of Jeremiah. It's talking about Rachel weeping in Ramah, and he's associating it with the babies being killed in Bethlehem. Okay. The problem is when you read about the prophecy in Jeremiah, it's talk about Rachel crying for her children that have been taken into slavery. And God says, don't cry. They'll be restored to you. So the prophecy is not talking about dead children. It's talking about children taken into captivity. Okay. Rachel's sister Leah is the one who should be crying for butchered babies in Bethlehem, because Bethlehem is descendants of Judah, who is obviously comes from the line of Leah. So the author of Matthew doesn't understand how this prophecy applies. He just basically takes anything that he sounds familiar and he adds it, which is clear evidence that he's attempting to create self-fulfilling prophecy by inventing history.
So that means we should go to a document that came 600 years later.
No, that doesn't make Islam true. Islam has got nothing to do with this. This is to do with Christianity and its own integrity. This is us trying to understand that you're believing that, for example, Matthew is an eyewitness, yet that he needs to copy from somebody who's not an eyewitness. So that's problematic in itself. Then we look at what Matthew actually writes, and that's not in Mark, and he's just inventing stuff, and he's trying to create self-fulfilling prophecy. So this is evidence, smoking gun evidence, that an author of a gospel is creating self-fulfilling prophecy. Do you see the problem with that?
Okay, let's say if the resurrection actually happened, would that mean Islam is false?
Okay, I'll say it again to you. Do you see the problem with that?
I only want to discuss the resurrection, bro.
Oh, okay.
Because if the resurrection happened...
okay, don't worry about Islam. No. You're a Christian. According to you, Islam is false. I get it. I'm not really bothered. I'm not bothered whether or not you believe Islam is true. I'm trying to understand why you believe Christianity is true. So you believe Jesus resurrected, yeah?
Yes.
Why?
Because of the empty tomb.
Why does that mean Jesus resurrected?
Because did Jesus not get crucified? Did he not get buried?
The people believed he was crucified.
And then what?
And then you have the authors of the Gospels, some saying ending at an empty tomb, others saying Jesus appeared afterwards talking to them and such.
But these are the gospel writers. Why are we? So the point is this: why are we believing what the gospel writers actually say?
But even people like Bart Ehrman, who's a atheist,
Don't worry about
say
Bart
that,
Ehrman.
you know, this is not. What do you mean? Don't worry about Bart
He's
Ehrman?
just a historian.
Credible historian.
He doesn't know whether Jesus was crucified or not. All he can say is that people believed he was, just as the Quran does, just as Josephus does, just as Tacitus does, just as Pliny the Younger does.
No. He says that the crucifixion absolutely happened.
How does he know?
Buried.
How does he know it happened?
Because he uses sources like the Bible and whatever historical
Well,
method.
he uses sources like the Bible, which he doesn't believe is true. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, he says it's 95% stable. That's what he says about the Bible.
The Bible is 95% stable.
Yeah, that's what he says. It's
okay. The most part Bart Ehrman could possibly say is that the authors of the Gospels believe Jesus was crucified. That's the most he can say.
The most he can say is that the believers believe he resurrected. That's what, because history can't count for the resurrection.
We talk about crucifixion first. Let's deal with the crucifixion first. The most Bart Ehrman can say is people believed he was crucified. Because he wasn't there. He wasn't there. That's the most he can do.
No, Bart Ehrman says it's an absolute truth that Jesus was absolutely crucified.
How does he know?
Debate.
How does he know?
How do you know he didn't get crucified?
No, but you say Bart Ehrman knows for a fact this happened. How?
Well, are we going to put these historians under the bus now?
No, I'm telling you how the historical method works. They don't tell you what happened. They tell you what people say happened.
Well, is Bart Ehrman not a credible historian?
Historians can only tell you what people believe to have happened.
He says that about the resurrection, not the crucifixion.
The historical method is just reporting what people were saying.
Well, so in regards to the crucifixion, right, is there any debate that it happened?
There are Christians who didn't believe Jesus was crucified at the time.
Like who?
Like the Basileans.
Gnostics.
With the people at the time who were not Muslims believed Jesus wasn't crucified.
Do you know why?
I'm not interested in... Look. It's irrelevant to what you're saying to me. It wasn't a new idea that Jesus wasn't crucified. It was already believed by certain people. Whether you agree or not, it doesn't really matter.
Well, do you know why they denied the crucifixion?
It doesn't matter. The point is this. Not everybody agreed that Jesus was crucified.
Yes, they did. You're appealing to Gnostics who say he didn't get crucified. You know why? You know why? Do you know why?
There's more than one opinion. There's some people who believe that Simon of Cyrene was crucified.
This is the only group that did not believe.
What did they believe? What did they believe happened?
You tell me.
No, you said they're the only group. What did they believe?
Because they believe that Jesus was only God and not human. And there's a reason why, because it was theological. It wasn't something else.
So did they believe? Did they believe? Well, so they believed it was. They believed it was a spirit on the cross.
Yeah, because they believed that Jesus was absolutely God.
All right. So who did they? Okay. So who believed?
It was theologically motivated. It wasn't historically.
Okay. The Basileans believed it was Simon of Cyrene on the cross, the one who carried his cross.
Well, so do you want to appeal to Gnostics now?
Cora, go on. I know you're dying to say something.
Because it was theologically motivated.
No, that's not why the Basilidians denied, actually. So the Basilidians used the Gospel of Mark to prove that it wasn't Jesus, because the Gospel of Mark, when it talks about Simon of Cyrene carrying the cross, it immediately says, and he was crucified. It doesn't say, and Jesus was crucified. So they utilized the Gospel of Mark as a historical source to prove that it wasn't Jesus. It wasn't just theologically motivated. And even if it was, wait, hold on. And even if it was, do you think historians take into account this is a Gnostic Christian and this is a Trinitarian and this is a Unitarian? History doesn't care. They don't care if you deem somebody a heretic. All they care about is whether or not there was a disagreement. Do you agree or do you disagree?
But Cora, do you know why the Gnostics disagreed with Jesus dying?
Wait, do you think history cares? That's the point.
We're
talking about whether... Wait, hold on.
Answer the question, bro.
Yeah, I told you why they disagreed. I told you why.
Why?
Yeah, I told you that they used the Gospel of Mark.
No,
the Gospel
wrong.
of Mark doesn't explicitly say that Jesus was the one that was crucified. It said Simon carried the cross and he was crucified.
Was it theological reason or was it historical?
You can say that it was both theological and historical.
What's the theological reasoning?
Yeah, the theological reasoning would be that they don't believe that Jesus Christ would have died at the hands of the Jews and the Romans.
What's the reason for that?
It depends what group we're talking about. If we're talking about the Basilidians, if you want to bring a source that says that it was theologically motivated because
Wait, there's other groups? There's other groups that denied?
Yeah, Paul actually addresses some in his congregation as well. Scholarship agrees that when he writes in 1 Corinthians... Wait, hold on. The scholarship agrees... Wait, hold on.
Okay, all right, we'll deal with that. Let's stick with the
Enos, there's no need to
Gnostics.
freak out yet.
Let's stick with the Gnostics.
Enos,
So
you came up and you were
it's Enes.
speaking...
It's not Enes, it's Enes. So let's talk about the Gnostics, and then we can go to Galatians, right? So what's the reason why...
I wasn't bringing up Galatians. I was bringing up Corinthians, actually.
Yeah, let's do both. So let's start with the Gnostics.
So this is Cora. Mashallah, very good, knowledgeable sister when dealing with the enemies of Islam. So I've allowed her to come up. I want to hear the conversation.
The Basilidians, there's a multitude of reasons why they denied. We can also utilize the fact that, so apart from the fact that the Gospel of Mark does not explicitly say that it was Jesus that was crucified, it says that Simon carried the cross and he was crucified. Not only that, but they also bring up the issue between Matthew and John pertaining to drinking from the fruit of the vine.
But you said there's historical reason and there's theological reason.
And there's theological. But here's the thing.
What would the
you were discussing, Enes. You were discussing, wait, hold on, I'm in the middle of speaking. You were discussing with Hamza about the historical attestation. So it doesn't matter whether or not there were theologically motivated reasons, because we're talking about whether or not people historically denied it, which he was correct. There were a multitude of early Christian groups that historically denied it. Regardless of the reasons why, all Hamza needed to prove is that there was early groups that denied it, and he's correct, there were.
Why are you muting me, Hamza?
Because you haven't got the decency to shut up when somebody's talking.
I'm scared?
No, because you don't have the decency to...
Because Cora, you said there's theological reasons.
Okay, I muted you because you don't have the decency to shut up when somebody's talking.
Chill, bro, chill. I'm talking to... You want Cora to save you, bro? She's here. Relax.
Are you mad? Are you mad?
You need a woman to save you, Hamza.
Nobody's saving him. I decided to come up because I've been waiting to embarrass him.
Alright, let's do it. Let's do it, Cora.
Alright, let's do it. So do you agree that people historically denied it?
There's Gnostics, yes. Gnostics.
So you agree that there was historical denying of the crucifixion.
That's it.
Yeah, but you know
so
why?
was Hamza correct or incorrect?
Let's talk about it.
Wait, so was Hamza correct or incorrect?
Let's talk about the reason.
No, it doesn't matter. The reasons are irrelevant, mate.
Because if you want to appeal to the Gnostics, right?
No.
I'll tell you, since you don't want to answer Cora and Hamza.
Go ahead.
Right? So the Gnostics believe that Jesus didn't get crucified. Why? Because they believe that Jesus was 100% God and not human. So there's theological reasons why they denied the crucifixion of Jesus, right? It was motivated by their theology, not history, right? And they coped by saying...
Wait, the Basilidians believed that because Jesus was divine, he wasn't crucified? The Basilidians believe that?
This is what is confusing.
Let's go ahead and talk about early scholarship then.
Cora, he wasn't even aware of the Basilidans. Yeah, Basilidans, whatever the name is. Yeah, he just banged on about Gnostics. He just thought he said there's only one group, the Gnostics, and now we've brought another group that he's not aware of. So he's now trying to ad hoc respond to
What's the other group? What's the other group?
Basilidans.
Aren't they the same thing?
She's just explained to you why they believe Jesus was crucified. Jesus wasn't crucified. It was not because they believed he was fully God. It's because Simon of Cyrene was carrying the cross from the Gospel of Mark. She already explained that to you.
Okay, perfect. So this is actually a scholarly source that speaks about the Basilidians' beliefs. And the Basilidians believed that Jesus was a messenger of the supreme God who exchanged roles with Simon of Cyrene before the crucifixion. Nowhere does it say that they believed that he was the one true God or that he was the most high God. They believed that he was a messenger of the one true God. that was made manifest for the people. So you said the reason why they denied that Jesus was crucified is because they believe, oh, God was supremely divine and he can't die. No, they believe that Jesus was a messenger of the supreme God. So why are you LARPing about the Basilidians when you've never studied them?
This is the problem
I don't
he
know
has.
what you pulled up, bro. What
Oh yeah, this is the Oxford Dictionary of the Christian Church, where it talks about different Christian sects, and it speaks about their beliefs. That's the name of the book.
No. So history says that Gnostics denied the crucifixion.
We're talking about specifically the Basilidians right now. Because I mentioned the Basilidians, Hamza mentioned the Basilidians, and you LARPed and acted like you knew who the Basilidians were.
So are the Basilidians, are they Gnostics? Do they have Gnostics belief?
Doesn't matter. Yes, they were a Gnostics. They had Gnostic tendencies.
What do you mean it doesn't matter? What are you talking
Wait,
about?
hold on. The Basilidians had Gnostic tendencies, right? Because
What does that mean?
Wait, hold on. It means, so if I say that somebody has Gnostic tendencies, does that mean that they are clear-cut a member of like the Gnostic group? Not by necessity. You can uphold specific tendencies and not be classified as a part of the group. However, even if you want to say that they are part of that group, specifically the Basilidians don't meet the criteria that you made.
Exactly.
So now that you've been completely and utterly baked on this one. Now we're going to do this, Enes. Now we're going to do this. So you already agreed that there were groups that denied the crucifixion. So
Yeah,
I'm
like
going
a
to ask
tiny
you
group.
this. Wait, hold on. No, it wasn't tiny. Not by necessity, no.
What do you mean? Why are you saying the majority of people, Christians, believe that Jesus wasn't crucified?
No, I'm saying that if it was the case that these groups were tiny, why was Paul writing things against them? Why was Eusebius writing things against them? Why was Irenaeus writing things against them? If these were small groups, then why did everybody feel the need to refute them if they had no pull whatsoever? But regardless, the point is being made now. Wait, hold on. Do you think church fathers address heresies that aren't large or having pull? Why do you think that they were so eager to address heresies such as denying that Jesus was God and so on and so forth? Because it was something not only that was becoming widespread, but because people were being attracted towards that belief, right? So now I'm going to ask you this, because we were talking about the historicity of the crucifixion. If you agree that there are individuals that historically deny the crucifixion, then you also agree that there is no historical consensus or 100% agreement that Jesus was crucified, right?
No, so the majority belief in the 1st, 2nd century was that Jesus was absolutely crucified. Historians, this is not even debated, bro. Jesus was crucified. I don't know what you're trying to say.
The problem is you don't understand the historical method. That's your problem. Historians don't. Historians always look. Enes.
Document that came 600 years after
Look. Stop obsessing about Islam. Islam's not going to help you. Okay. This is why we're questioning what. Look, Enes, we're questioning why you believe Christianity is true. Okay. So basically,
because of the resurrection.
Right. So appealing to Islam is not going to help you. Appealing to Bar Ehrman isn't going to help you. Appealing to history isn't going to help you, because all history can tell you is what the people were thinking or believing. That's it. They can't tell you it happened because they weren't there. They could just report what people said happened, which would mean those people who said it happened. So one second. So which means the gospel writers who were not eyewitnesses were reporting what eyewitnesses may have told them. So it's just a belief they had. It's not an evidence, it's not a fact. So there's no way, shape, or form Bar Ehrman can say the crucifixion definitely happened. It just can't do it.
Well, so you want to go against all the historical
he's not going against all. We even have atheists that deny the crucifixion. I can quote to you 5 different atheists who deny the crucifixion. I can quote to you 1,000,001 different individuals who posit theories such as substitution theory or swoon theory or whatever it may be that deny the crucifixion. But you just stated that the reason why you are a Christian is because of the resurrection, right?
Yes.
So why are you quoting Bar Ehrman who denies the resurrection?
No, because I was making a point to...
Why?
Are you going to let me respond?
What's going on?
You ask a question and you laugh.
Go ahead, you can speak.
Chill out, bro. Are we going to have a conversation or are you going to be immature?
Yeah, of course.
You want to talk?
Have a conversation.
You want to talk?
You can talk. No, you can speak.
Yeah, let's talk. Well, I brought up Bar Ehrman, right? Because we're talking about the crucifixion. And I said to Hamza, I said, yes, sure. He denies the resurrection because the resurrection, they don't account for that with history because it's supernatural. They don't accept that because they don't. That would just assume that they accept miracles, which is not.
Yeah, which isn't naturalistic. Yes, I agree.
Yes.
But here's the
Amen.
thing.
Amen.
But here's the
So
thing.
that this
You know
is
what
why
you just
I
said
mentioned
actually backs
Amen.
up Hamza, though. Wait, hold on. You know what's interesting, though? Because from your perspective, you're trying to say you Muslims hold a position that's ahistorical, right?
No,
You
no.
already wait. Do you believe that
No.
Okay, then I have a question. Do you believe that we hold a position that's ahistorical? Yes or no?
Well, you guys say that it appeared so, which I don't have a problem. I don't have a problem with that. But what I do have a problem
And we
with,
say that Allah raised him specifically. Do you think that history is going to account for God raising Jesus to the second heaven? Do you think
There's
that
a difference
history is going to
between-
agree with us on that?
there's a difference between raising, like saving someone, and raising someone from the dead.
Yeah, no, I'm saying raising somebody to the second heaven, saving him. Because that's also supernatural, which means history is not going to account for it.
No, because we believe that he resurrected, right, from
Yeah,
the
but
dead.
I
you
didn't
guys-
say resurrected. I said he was raised to the second heaven and he was saved. That's what I said. And you already agree that that's supernatural, which means there's no problem with a Muslim holding that position, even if you deem it to be a problem historically, because you hold a position that's a problem historically, which is the resurrection account. That every historian denies.
Okay, so how do you explain the empty tomb? Because history says that he was crucified, he got buried. So how do you explain the empty tomb and the early church believing that he resurrected?
Yeah, so the empty tomb, it's so funny. The reason why the tomb was empty is because he was never in the tomb in the first place. That's why it was empty. That's the first part. And the second part,
History says he was
regardless,
buried.
hold on, I'm in the middle of speaking. Second off, it doesn't matter what the early church believed pertaining to Jesus Christ, because you saying that specific individuals believed in something is not an evidence that the belief is true. We had early Jewish Christians who believed that Jesus wasn't God. We had early individuals, quote unquote Judaizers, that believed that Jesus wasn't crucified.
No, that's
they believed
false.
that the
That's
Old
false.
Testament. Wait,
That's false.
That's false?
There
You
was
want me to
only
bring
Gnostics.
sources?
Go.
Sure, let's get it. So only Gnostics, only Gnostic individuals. Let's go ahead and see. Who was Eusebius responding to? Are you familiar with Eusebius's congregation?
Just bring up your sources, bro.
Wait, I'm asking you a question. Or sorry, not Eusebius, Ignatius. Are you familiar, yes or no?
I know Ignatius of Antioch.
Okay, Ignatius of Antioch. And do you know who he responds to pertaining to the denial of the crucifixion?
He's writing to Gnostics, or no, he's writing to Judaizers.
Yeah, and who are those? Who does he call them? He doesn't call them Gnostics. He calls them something else.
They were just following the law.
He calls them Docetists. Okay, do you know what that word means?
No.
Okay, Docetists, what they believed is they believed the virgin birth, they believed in things such as like baptism and so on and so forth, but they didn't believe that Jesus was divine, right? And Ignatius goes, this is a problem, this is a contradiction to what we believe. So Ignatius, he says in his epistle to the Cimmerians, he says, and I quote, look at this. He says, and he suffered truly, even as also he truly raised up himself, not as certain unbelievers maintain that he only appeared or seemed to have suffered, as they themselves only seem to be Christians. So he's responding to an early group that he doesn't deem Gnostics, right? He says that this group believed that Jesus was only suffering via appearance, right? So you said only Gnostics believe this, right?
Well, Docetists and Gnostics, they both have like the same belief.
Wait,
that Jesus-
Docetists are Gnostics? Wait, what?
No, they have the belief that Jesus was 100% divine. Like they don't believe that he
No,
was
Docetists
flesh.
didn't even believe that Jesus came in flesh.
So what do they believe?
Oh, you want me to teach you now? I already explained to you briefly. I already explained to you before I quoted the source. So we already agreed. These aren't Gnostics. Docetists, who Ignatius is responding to, are individuals that deny that Jesus was God in flesh, right? And what's interesting is they classified themselves, and scholarship also classifies them as Jewish Christians. Remember the term that I used? Jewish Christians that denied the crucifixion in the early years.
No, because I wanted to talk about the Judaizers. You said the Judaizers denied the crucifixion.
I said Jewish Christians, and I said that people deemed them as Judaizers.
So are you saying that the early church, right, the apostles, right, they didn't believe that Jesus was
crucified and resurrected?
No, I didn't say that. I said that the argument that I'm making, let's make sure that we remember, is that individuals very early on upheld the belief that Jesus Christ of Nazareth was not crucified. Because that's the argument that Hamza was making previously. He was making the argument that there were individuals, apart from the Muslims, earlier than the Muslims, that denied the crucifixion. So now do you agree?
How would you tackle...
Wait, answer the question. Now do you agree?
No, I'm responding. So how would you tackle the general consensus that Jesus was absolutely crucified?
The general consensus, naturalism.
No, you're just appealing to authority. Like, you're appealing to these people, and what you're trying to say is like,
wait, but don't you think appealing to historical consensus is also appealing to authority? All I'm doing is I'm poking holes in the narrative. That's all I'm doing. You're arguing from consensus. You're arguing from consensus.
From a point of view.
He didn't even argue from a consensus. He argued from Bart Ehrman.
And Cora, you're forcing your worldview because your religion says he never got crucified.
No, I'm not forcing my worldview, because even if... Wait, hold on. I can grant. The Quran says, مَا قَتَلُوهُ وَمَا صَلَبُوهُ وَلَكِنْ شُبِّهَ لَهُم. So when it says, وَلَكِنْ شُبِّهَ لَهُم, I can grant that historically it says that he's crucified, and the Quran is still right. Because the Quran said it was made to appear so. If the Quran says that it was made to appear so, then naturally people are going to attest to it. So either way I argue, the Quran is right. So listen, Anas, do you now agree? Wait, hold on, Anas. So I'm going to ask you a question. Do you now agree that the host was correct, that there were early individuals who denied the crucifixion? Do you now agree?
Like Docetists, Gnostics, sure.
Yeah,
they had their own reasons.
Oh, okay, but the point of
belief of the apostles or the orthodoxy.
So the point is,
and they were heretics.
So I was correct, yes.
Sure,
thank you.
That's all we needed to hear.
I already granted you that from the first.
You didn't.
When you first asked me.
No, you didn't. You brought Bart Ehrman and said it happened.
Yeah, we're talking about the crucifixion, but look, here's the thing.
Yeah, that's what we're talking about, the crucifixion. We're still talking about the crucifixion.
Yeah, we're talking about it. Look, we can see and talk here all day about whether the crucifixion happened or not. But let me ask you, Cora and Hamza, right? Why wasn't Jesus crucified, and why wasn't he resurrected?
I'm sorry?
Did you say why wasn't he crucified?
Yes.
Yeah, because God saved him.
What's the point of that?
Yeah, Allah Azza wa Jal saved him from being oppressed the way that the previous prophets that were sent to the children of Israel were oppressed. It says in the Quran that they denied some and unalived others.
And did God save those other prophets?
No, not by necessity. Because Isa specifically has messianic duties for the Day of Judgment. Right.
Okay, so God, right? He didn't save the other prophets, but he saved Jesus. Why?
Is there a problem?
Because Jesus is the only one who's going to return.
Exactly. So he has messianic duties to carry out.
Okay, if the other prophets weren't saved, right? Then why didn't God just let Jesus die, just like the other prophets?
Because he has to return. Okay.
The reason why is because he has messianic duties to carry out on the Day of Judgment. That's the point. Jesus is going to come back before the Day of Judgment as a sign of the Day of Judgment. He's going to carry out these duties.
Okay, so let's say, for example, he got crucified and then he resurrected. How is that going to stop his messianic mission?
Wait, hold on. Do you think that God would have allowed Jesus to be crucified by these individuals for no reason, no crime whatsoever, if it's the case that his intention was to save them?
If it meant for him to be resurrected, then why not?
Wait, hold on. Remember the end, because God's intention was for him to be saved. Remember that.
Wait. So you're saying that the reason why God didn't allow him to die, right, because of his messianic mission. But here's my response to you. Right, let's say Jesus did die, just like the other prophets. What's the problem with Jesus resurrecting, right? If it's a miracle, because Islam, miracles happen, right?
Yeah, miracles do happen, but it wasn't God's intention for him to die. That's the point.
Why would it be a problem if Jesus died and resurrected?
God chose, Anas. God chose for Jesus to be saved. The same exact way that you believe that God chose to send his son to die for the sins of mankind, even though God could have forgiven.
See, at the moment, Cora's allowed him to twist the narrative. I would never have allowed it.
So prophets can die.
But she's allowed him to twist the narrative.
And and there's also miracles that happen.
And I've got to try and twist it back.
Can die like the other prophets, and also
Why are we defending Islam now? Why are we defending the Islamic narrative
like the
now?
other prophets perform miracles, but that's not going to stop his messianic mission if Jesus resurrected. Like, how does that affect Tawheed?
Perfect, yeah.
Korah,
it doesn't
Korah,
affect
Korah.
Tawheed. Yeah, that
It
you're
doesn't-
correct.
exactly.
It
It
doesn't
doesn't-
affect Tawheed. But the point that's
Korah.
being made is
Korah.
that it's not it was not Allah's intention for him to die.
Okay,
Allah
if it doesn't
chose
affect
to save
Tawheed,
him.
if it doesn't affect Tawheed nor the messianic mission, then what's the point in denying the resurrection?
Yeah, beautiful.
What's
Because
the
there's
point?
because he didn't die. We deny the resurrection because we don't believe that he died.
Okay, I know
obviously.
you deny that, but why?
Yeah, beautiful. Because God chose
I'm gonna have to
save
switch
him.
this.
That's not a good enough
Irrespective of
answer.
wait, hold on. So me saying that God chose to save him is not a good enough answer? Okay, beautiful. Why
No.
did Jesus die? Even though God could have forgiven the sins of mankind without a human sacrifice, why did he force Jesus to die?
Because that's his mission. Like, you don't have to go. You don't have to come to
Let me ask you a question.
Exactly.
Anas,
Consistency.
one second, Cora, one second.
I'm making internal critique.
Anas,
If you don't mind, let me just get one point.
Go on.
off.
Go on.
Listen, you said explicitly that my answer is not good enough. I said that it was God's choice and God's intention for him to be saved. And I said, okay, well, if you think that's not a good enough answer, why did the Father make Jesus die for the sins of mankind if he could have forgiven humanity otherwise? You said it was because it's his mission. Okay, that's not good enough then. I say your answer is not good enough because he
that's
could
not
have.
true.
Wait, hold on.
That's not true.
Wait, hold on. Is the Father so limited to where he couldn't have forgiven the sins of mankind without a human sacrifice?
It's because God needs a divine sacrifice. Because
That's a lie. In the book of Ezekiel, it says he doesn't.
Wait, Cora. We'll hold it back. Don't give it to him yet. Set the trap.
Let's talk about the crucifixion.
Ennis, 1 second. 1 second. No, I'm muting you a second. 1 second, Cora. Don't give all the information out just yet. Set the trap first. Okay. So Ennis. So do you believe that this Jesus being crucified means there'll be no more animal sacrifices required for the atonement of sin?
Don't shift the topic, bro.
It's the same topic. We're trying to understand why you believe Jesus had to be crucified. What was the purpose of it? What did it achieve?
No. Guys, chill. So, Cora, let me ask you again, because I didn't get a good enough answer.
No, stop, Ennis. No, it's my life, mate.
I didn't get a good enough answer.
Ennis. Let's understand one thing. This is my life. I'm not interested in what you think about Islam, whether you agree with why Islam teaches this, what my belief is, what Cora's belief is. I don't care. I care about where you believe Christianity is true. This is what's being interrogated here, yeah? I'm not interested in what you think about Islam, whether you think Allah was right to save him and why this and why that. I'm not bothered, mate. Cora was very charitable to allow you to go there, but I ain't allowing you to go there. I'm asking you why you believe Christianity is true. So respond to it. Why did Jesus have to die? What was the purpose? What was the reason for it?
Well, the chat saying God needs. No, God doesn't need anything. That's why we're saved by grace. That's what
But you
grace
said
is.
God needed a divine sacrifice. You said that.
That's what he said.
You said those words verbatim.
You said God needed a divine sacrifice in order to forgive our sins.
God doesn't need anything. It's grace.
But you said it.
You're the one that said he needed it.
But you said it.
God could have chose for us to perish.
No, you said God needs a divine sacrifice.
Exactly. Anas, let me ask you this. Could God have forgiven the sins of humanity another way apart from divine sacrifice? Could he have done that if he willed?
No.
So your God is limited. He couldn't have forgiven otherwise. Thank you very much. You just conceded for all 300 people in the live. He just conceded his God is limited.
No, just because you can ask questions and interrogate and say,
this is bad.
Give me a clip. Anyways, Cora, you didn't even answer my question properly, right? Does the resurrection does it contradict Tawheed?
Resurrection of Jesus Christ? No, that doesn't need to contradict Tawheed.
Cool. So why do you deny it?
Yeah, because there's no evidence to prove that he resurrected. I deny it because the Quran says that he did
That's
not
it.
die, and if he did not die, then he's not going to be resurrected, obviously.
Well, because I'm
That's
trying to make
common sense in us.
No, because I don't care about if it didn't happen or if it did happen. I'm just asking why.
Ennis,
because God chose for it not to
you got to
happen.
pay attention, son. I have to mute you, man. I'm gonna keep muting you.
Let's just close this up because I want to go back to Christianity.
Because you have to realize this is my live stream, and you don't get to choose what you do. Okay, You ask us, why don't we believe in the resurrection? Because the Quran says there wasn't a resurrection. The Quran says Jesus wasn't crucified. That's it. We're not going to start going, oh, why do you believe the Quran? We're not going to do that. So our position is very simple. I'll make it easy for you. I'm a Muslim. Qora's a Muslim. If Islam teaches, we reject Christianity on that basis. Okay. So we believe Christianity is false by default because Islam being true. Okay. What we're asking is Christians why you think Christianity is true. So this is where we are. So Islam has no part to play in your response.
Well, that's circular. If you're going to say, oh, I believe that didn't happen because of the Quran, that's just circular, bro.
But you're talking about the Islamic belief, so you're going to have to grant us our belief, bud. But the point is, you said that us saying that Jesus was not resurrected because the Quran says that he wasn't, you said that's not a good enough answer. Why is that not a good enough answer?
No, I said the reason why you deny it is not a good enough answer because previous prophets died from Jews. Jesus,
and God chose.
Who cares what you think about Islam? Who cares what you think about Islam? We don't care. We're asking you why you believe Christianity is true, not your opinion on Islam.
God even let Muhammad die. That's another thing as well.
Wait, oh my! Is there a problem with that? Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, does not have duties before the day of judgment. But regardless,
Qora, you just keep letting him in. Qora,
no, hold on.
stop letting him into Islam.
Back to Christianity. Wait, hold on. I want to lead him back into Christianity. So we already answered. We said that the reason why we don't believe that he was resurrected is because Islam says that he wasn't resurrected. Why do you believe that he was resurrected?
Because we have multiple eyewitnesses. History doesn't deny that.
Also circular, because history does deny the resurrection. We're talking about the resurrection, not the crucifixion.
No,
history denies the resurrection.
No, there's so many scholars, right? Credible scholars that say it's not debated. It definitely happened. The crucifixion.
We are talking about the resurrection right now.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll explain to you.
Wait, so let me ask you this: does crucifixion imply resurrection?
No, it doesn't.
Exactly. So even if you argue for the crucifixion, that's not an argument for the resurrection. So I'm going to ask you this:
Yeah,
why do you, as a Christian, wait, hold on. Why do you, as a Christian, believe in the resurrection of Jesus Christ? Why?
Because it's the only.
Without being circular.
It's the only explanation of the empty tomb.
That's a lie. We have naturalistic explanations.
Okay, so if Jesus, right, if the Gospels say that Jesus got crucified and he was buried, right, and they sealed the tomb, right, and then it was empty, right? Historical scholars say that it's either three things, right? They say they either stole the body or it was what do you call it? It was, what's that word? A hallucination, right? But none of these answer the question of why there's an empty tomb and why the early Christians spread this faith of Jesus resurrecting and they died for it.
Okay, so you want to talk about why there was an empty tomb. I have atheistic scholarship that reconciles why there was an empty tomb. If you want to go outside of Islam and you want to talk about history, I can bring you books that talk about why there was an empty tomb. So let's go ahead and read. So this Nativity passage, Passion, Resurrection, speaking about Jesus. And it says, and I quote, it says, Jesus survived the crucifixion and has been propounded by modern writers and novelists. So it says he was buried alive and he left the tomb after. That's one reconciliation. And we have a multitude of other reconciliations. For example, let's go ahead and bring Jesus the Man, right? By Barbara Thiering. Okay, this is the book right here. All right.
Wait, what? So could you explain what happened?
The greatest Jesus scholar of his generation. So what's interesting is they posit something called swoon theory. Wait, I'm going to explain to you. So they posit something called swoon theory, right? They believe that Jesus, when he was on the cross, he was beaten and so on and so forth, but he did not die. He was injured. And then when they buried him, he left the tomb.
What's the evidence for that?
Yeah, that's naturalistic accounts, my friend, right there. That's the way that they use. Wait, hold on, let me explain. You see, when we have the four Gospels, right, and they talk about the resurrection, history, what they're going to do is they are going to use naturalism to reconcile this. They're going to say, if Jesus was allegedly crucified, but they saw him after, they're immediately going to find natural ways to reconcile this. They're going to say, if he was put on the cross and then they saw him after, then that means he didn't die on the cross. That's what history is going to say.
So he got whipped and then he got crucified, nailed to a cross, and then somehow he survived it.
According to these scholars, yes. According to these scholars, yes. So
And he
you
was
said,
able
wait,
to
hold on.
move.
You said that there is an argument. You said verbatim. How do you reconcile the tomb and how do you reconcile the resurrection accounts in the gospel where people saw him after? I'm showing you scholars who do it for us. Scholars that do so for us.
You're appealing to one scholar. I'm talking about.
No, I'll bring a second. Okay, I'll bring a second.
Oh, one second, Cora. 1 second, Cora. 1 second, Cora. Enes, tell us a non-Christian historian who says Jesus resurrected. Just one.
Well, I'm talking to Bar Ehrman, for example. I know he doesn't accept the resurrection.
That's the opposite. That's the opposite.
He tells us that the early Christians.
No, give me one. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in this. You've already said Bar Ehrman doesn't agree in a resurrection. So give me one non-Christian source that makes the claim that Jesus resurrected.
That's a dumb question because if.
Well, you claimed it's historical. You claimed it was historical. So.
No, Hamza. That's a dumb question. Because if they believed in the resurrection,
right,
they would be Christian.
So there's no non-Christian source then, is there? So there's no non-Christian source then.
Because that's a contradiction. You can't have a non.
No, it just means because the Christians.
So Enes, you agree it's ahistorical then? Wait, hold on, Enes. So you agree that your belief in the resurrection is ahistorical? There is no non-Christian historian because you are appealing to Bar Ehrman, who is an atheist.
History doesn't attest to miracles, bro.
Exactly. So listen, exactly. So when I asked you, why do you believe Jesus was resurrected? You shouldn't have immediately said eyewitnesses and the Gospels and so on and so forth, because that's also circular. So what you accused me and Hamza of, which was being circular, you fell into 30 seconds later.
No, because history, right, it doesn't account for miracles, but what they tell us is what the early Christians believed.
But doesn't make it true. But doesn't make it true, does it?
Because this is the only explanation that they tell us.
This is all
right?
okay. If you don't understand this,
believed in the resurrection.
Oh, okay. But this is the point. Why do you believe what the early Christians are saying? This is my whole point. This is my whole interrogation.
You know why, Hamza? You know why, Hamza?
Tell me why.
There's so many other false messiahs with their movements and their cults.
Tell me.
Died off.
Tell me why.
I'm telling you, if you let me talk. Because there's so many different false messiahs during the time of Jesus, even after the time of Jesus, that they claimed that they were the messiahs and they had followers, and then the Messiah died, and then the movement died. Right, it died out. But Jesus, on the other hand, why did Jesus succeed? Because maybe he was actually the Messiah and he actually resurrected, and the believers actually spread the.
What do you mean succeed?
A lot of people believing in something means he succeeded. Christianity succeeded.
Yes, it's the largest religion, larger than your
religion.
religion.
Why do 5 billion people deny it then?
Well, the number one religion right now is Christianity.
No, actually, that's false.
Yes, 2.1 billion.
Well, wait, hold on. If we take into account, let's say the largest. What are you? Are you Catholic?
I think he's a Catholic.
Yes.
Okay, if you're Catholic, Catholicism is smaller than Sunni Islam.
Well, if we're talking about the Christians who believe in the resurrection, it's 2.1 billion.
Yeah, but hold on. Believing in the resurrection doesn't necessarily make you a Christian. Unitarians believe in the resurrection, for example.
Yeah,
Do you believe that Unitarians are Christians? Because here's the thing, the statistics that say that Christianity is the largest religion doesn't only take into account Orthodox or real Christianity. They take into account Jehovah's Witnesses and Mormons and Amish people and Unitarians and so on and so forth. Do you believe all those people are Christians?
How do you deal with the early church, right, with false messiahs dying out, but the Jesus movement actually succeeded?
It doesn't matter what died out and what survived.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what died out and survived.
It does matter.
Just Cora. Just 1 second. Just 1 second.
Enes. In the book of Acts, there's a high priest, right? I think his name's Ananias. He said that to the apostles. He said, let them be. Stop persecuting them. Because there were so many other different movements before them that they died out.
No, you don't know what you're talking about, mate.
Because if they're truly from God...
Okay, let me help you, Enes. No, because you're talking rubbish, mate. I'll help you. It's your book, I know. Okay, it's not the high priest talking. It's Gamaliel petitioning the Sanhedrin to release the disciples of Jesus, asking them to be released, and he's the one giving this reason. But there was many other movements and such and such. So the idea that you think the high priest is saying that is incorrect in the first place. So before you look any dumber, I need to correct you on that. And this also corrects a bigger problem for you, because you have the Pharisee leader petitioning for the release of the disciples of Jesus, his right-hand men, and yet you also make the claim that the Pharisees were against Jesus and his teachings. How do you reconcile that?
You know why? Because he said that if you fight with them, and if they truly are from God, then you'll find yourself fighting with God.
How do you reconcile that?
Because here's what he says. He said that if they are truly from God, right, they'll succeed. But if they're not, they'll die out like these other cults that happened before.
So if he thought that, if they thought that,
you'll be fighting against God.
If they thought that, why they 1 second? If they thought that, why are they crucifying Jesus then?
Because they didn't understand about Jesus. Right?
They didn't understand about Jesus, but then they understand about his followers.
Yeah. Let me answer you, because they wanted to underline his movement, just like the other false messiahs. But guess what? He resurrected, and guess what? His apostles spread their belief.
He resurrected. Wait, hold on, but you can't
What are we
prove
talking
he
about?
resurrected. That's the funniest part. So you're saying the issue is, and it's what you're doing right now.
Is that what? 1 second, Corey. He's acting like the Gamaliel went to the Sanhedrin saying, "You know he's resurrected, don't you? We better release his followers just in case." That's what you're implying, though. That's what you're inferring. The idea that Gamaliel was scared of this movement now because they made a mistake crucifying Jesus. Honestly.
You know why they unalive Jesus? Because they thought they would unalive his movements just like the other false messiahs. But the reason why Gamaliel said stop persecuting him and stop unaliving them, right? Because their movement was growing, and they said if you keep persecuting them, you'll find yourself persecuting God as well. So let them be. Right? And guess what?
That doesn't answer what I just said to you.
So, you believe that Jesus is the true. Wait, hold on. So you believe that according. Wait, hold on. You believe that Jesus is God, and you believe that he's the true Messiah, correct?
Yes.
And what it means to be the true Messiah is to fulfill like messianic prophecy in the Old Testament and so on and so forth, correct?
Well, you want to go into Old Testament prophecies now? I'm talking about the.
No, I'm not going into that. No, I'm not going into that. I'm asking you a question. Is that what it means to be the Messiah? To fulfill prophecy and to obviously have these specific commitments, all these different duties and so on. Is that what it means to be the Messiah?
I mean, what else is it going to mean to be the Messiah? Unless it's from the Old Testament prophecies.
Okay, for sure. And you agree that the Messiah was supposed to be an honest man, correct?
Yes.
Never uttering any lie whatsoever.
Jesus never lied.
Okay, so if I prove to you that according to the New Testament, Jesus lied, would you say that he, the biblical Jesus, is no longer the Messiah?
Well, if you're going to say that he's not the Messiah, then that means your religion is false because you say
said biblical Jesus. I said biblical. Remember, I'm using specific words. Biblical Jesus. Wait, don't run. You don't need to run to that yet.
Islam's not going to help you.
Don't worry. Islam's not going to save you from the topic that's Christianity. Even if Islam is quote unquote. Wait, hold on. No, I'm going to give you an argument, actually. I'm going to be on offense right now. Okay. Do you have a Bible next to you?
I'm in bed. It's like 1 a.m.
Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and let's open up Matthew 26, verses 29 through 30. Last Supper, okay? Are you familiar with those passages?
Bro, I already saw you do this with life, bro. You got baked.
Okay, bake me right now then.
Bro, sour wine is not the same as the wine that Jesus drank at the supper.
Yeah, but Jesus doesn't say it needs to be the same wine. All Jesus says is that I will not drink from the fruit of the vine, which means he will not drink from the fruit of the vine, meaning grapes.
It's a celebratory wine. It's totally different.
No, he doesn't specify. No, he doesn't specify that it's celebratory. He says that I will not drink from the fruit of the vine from now up until I drink it with you anew in my Father's kingdom. So he doesn't specify the oinos that's being drank at the Last Supper. He just says, generally, I will not drink from the fruit of the vine. So let me ask you, is the sour wine from the fruit of the vine?
I don't know how wine works, bro. I've been a Muslim my whole life.
I don't know how wine works either. I'm speaking according to the Bible. The only reason why I know this is because the Bible tells me.
I don't know, bro. You're asking the wrong person, bro. I'm an expert.
Okay, yeah. So sour wine sauce is derived from the fruit of the vine. So if I say, for example, I'm going to give you an analogy, right? If I say that I'm not going to drink milk from now up until tonight, and then let's say at 3 p.m., I have a cup that I left outside and the milk is spoiled and I drank it. Have I drank spoiled milk?
It's no longer milk.
Wait, spoiled milk is no longer milk?
No, it's kefir.
So spoiled milk, so if I leave a cup outside, spoiled milk is no longer milk?
No, it's not. Check it. Fact check me.
Spoiled milk is no longer milk, chat. Everybody in the comments. So if the milk spoils, it's no longer milk.
Fact check me, bro. Go.
What do you think spoiled milk is?
Milk that's no longer milk.
No, that's not what spoiled milk is.
That's what it is, yes.
Wait, hold on. So if milk expires, it's no longer milk?
Yes, look it up.
So even if it thickens, it still has the texture and all the same properties and so on and so forth. It's no longer milk.
No.
Okay, I have a question. Wait, hold on. I have a question. So is rotten meat still meat?
No, different. That's you're talking about something
meat
to
is
eat.
no longer meat. Okay, it's rotten fruit.
No,
Still fruit.
you're talking about something that's you eat versus something that you drink.
Wait,
Totally
okay, beautiful.
different.
So let me ask you this: is spoiled orange juice orange juice?
No, it's false equivocation.
How is that a false equivocation? You said that it's not something that you drink, so it's different. I'm going to give you a drink.
The
Is
thing
spoiled
is-
orange juice orange juice?
No, it's not.
Okay, is spoiled apple juice apple juice?
No,
Okay, so why is it called spoiled apple juice and spoiled orange juice and so on and so forth?
because you can't drink it anymore.
No, you can drink it. It's just not proper anymore.
No,
You're going to be
can't
sickened because of it. Wait, hold on. So I physically am incapable of drinking spoiled milk, spoiled apple juice, and so on and so forth, and that's no longer that's no
You get
longer
sick.
a drink. Yeah, you get sick, but you can still drink it.
Yeah, but the thing is, the wine, right, that Jesus drank on the cross, it's not actually wine; it's vinegar.
It's no, it wasn't. Wait, hold on. It's oxos. Oxos is diluted wine that was over fermented. So I have a question, right? If some drink is over fermented or left out and so on and so forth, does that mean that it's the case that it's no longer that drink? I'm going to give the example of the orange juice again. If I leave out a cup of orange, we're not talking about. Wait, no. It still has alcohol content. Oxos still has alcohol content.
Wait, is vinegar alcohol?
Wait, no, not by necessity. It has less than a 1%. But here's the thing: oxos and what we understand as vinegar today are not the same thing. When the Bible says oxos, the sour wine that he drank on the cross, all oxos indicates is a low-grade form of wine that was cheap and drank by Roman soldiers. It's just a cheaper form of wine because it's diluted and over-fermented. They could buy it at cheaper rates, but they still drank it for purposes of pleasure.
Yeah, but it's totally different to the wine that Jesus drank because that's celebratory, and
But
the wine that Jesus drank on the cross.
But they're still both from the fruit of the vine. Jesus
And
says that you will not. Wait, hold on. I'm speaking.
No,
Jesus
got
says that he
wine.
won't drink. Wait, hold on. Jesus says that he won't drink from the fruit of the vine. Anything, which means if he says he's not going to drink from the fruit of the vine, anything that is from the fruit of the vine, he should not be drinking. It doesn't matter if it's over fermented or not.
Yeah, but you know how Jesus got offered wine on the cross and he denied it?
Jesus denied it?
Yeah, there's a...
In John 19?
I think it's in John 19.
No, John 19 is when he accepts it.
No, there's another passage. I don't think which gospel
It's in Matthew 27. He denies it in Matthew 27.
Yeah.
You want to know why he denies it? Wait, you want to know why he denies it in Matthew 27?
Because he wants to experience his full...
No. The reason why he denies it in Matthew 27 is because Matthew 26 is when he promises he won't drink it.
Yes, spoiled milk is still in terms of its composition. Spoiled milk is still considered milk in terms of its composition. Baked. Done. Night. Unless we're done, man. We're done.
All right, is vinegar haram?
Sorry?
Is vinegar haram?
What, wine vinegar?
Vinegar, is it haram?
Generally speaking, no. Is oxos haram though? Yes.
Is wine haram?
Yes, of course, it's haram.
There you go. So what Jesus
and
had
oxos is wine. And oxos is wine. Oxos is over fermented wine. Oh, so you agree it's wine?
I said Sakura's good, but
yes, it's no longer. It goes through
she's allowing this guy to go everywhere.
Okay, so everybody in the comments, he just agreed that it's wine. However, it was diluted. So I have a question. If I vow.
There's no need to go here.
Answer the question. If I drink, wait, hold on. Answer the question. If I vow not to drink orange juice and then I dilute a cup of orange juice with water, have I still drank orange juice?
Well, to the point where the orange juice is no longer there, like you dilute it to that point.
But I've still drank orange juice because regardless of whether or not it's diluted, if I vow not to drink anything that comes, because we're going to be very specific to the text. Matthew says that he will not drink from the fruit of the vine, which means he will not drink anything that comes from the fruit of the vine. If oxos comes from the fruit of the vine and John 19 says he drank it, then he broke his promise and he lied.
It's not the same thing, bro. You're reaching.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Is the oxos from the fruit of the vine?
It's watered down, bro.
Answer the question. Is it from the fruit of the vine?
It's not the same wine.
Answer the question. Is it from the fruit of the vine?
Is it from the
It
fruit?
is from the fruit of the wine, but it's watered down.
Is it? No.
Jesus drank from the fruit of the vine and lied.
Anas.
No, it's
So
not.
you agree?
You're reaching, bro.
You agree it's from the fruit of the vine, yes?
You guys are reaching, bro. It's
Is it from the fruit of the vine, yes or no?
Yes, that's where alcohol.
So it's from the fruit of the vine, yes? So he did partake. Did he say? Did he make a distinction between what type of fruit of the vine commodity he would be drinking? He just said from the fruit of the vine, which means anything made from the grape.
Because you don't drink vinegar for like celebratory.
But
it doesn't matter.
It does matter.
He never specifies that.
Can you make the vinegar without the grapes?
Promise is not to drink from the fruit of the vine.
Yes, because he's going to celebrate it at the Messianic
No,
banquet
he doesn't.
when
He's not talking
there.
about anything celebratory. He says, I will not drink from the fruit of the vine again
It
from
is.
now up until the time I'm speaking. He will not drink. Wait, hold on. I'm speaking. I will not drink from the fruit of the vine from now up until the point in which I drink it anew with you in my Father's kingdom. So Jesus says that he will not drink from the fruit of the vine. So that means that he is not going to drink anything which is from the fruit of the vine. If the oxos is from the fruit of the vine, which you already conceded, then he drank from the fruit of the vine and you have just called Jesus a liar.
No, because the Bible uses different words for vinegar and actual wine.
Yes, oxos and oinos. The oxos comes from
But there is another option, Cora.
Mm-hmm.
He may just not have known.
Yeah, wait, hold on. That's actually what, you know what's so crazy, Hamza? That's actually how scholarship reconciles this contradiction. Scholarship says that the reason why this happened is because John was ignorant of the promise in Matthew. And because he was ignorant of Jesus promising this in Matthew, he forgets that he said, sorry, he doesn't forget. He doesn't add this into his text. He didn't know about it. So he accidentally attributes to Jesus that he's a liar because he doesn't know that.
No, mine's worse. No, mine's worse than that. Mine's actually saying Jesus. No. I'm saying maybe Jesus didn't know he was going to drink again from the fruit of the vine, which means he wasn't God.
Which means he wasn't omniscient.
Exactly.
So,
So
I'm reaching scholarship. Wait, hold on, but we have academic scholarship behind us. Do you have anyone behind you?
Yeah, we got 4 people.
We have 4, and who are those 4 people? Who are those 4 people?
Bro, I'm literally in bed right now. If I, was behind my desktop.
Okay, so don't make claims. I'm in my bed too. I just happen to have my iPad with me.
Yeah, but like it's an actual fact, bro. There's like 4 different scholars that agree with my position and Life's position. Like it's not.
Wait,
it's
so you guys have academic scholarship that agrees that this isn't a contradiction?
Yes.
Okay, name it.
There's a surname France or
France.
something Wiener. I don't know.
Interesting. Okay, so you know what's so crazy? The reason why I wanted to bring this up.
I'll message you my sources.
Yeah, sure. That's fine. You can message the sources. But you know what's so crazy? Hamza mentioned the Basilidians before I hopped on the panel. You know what's so crazy? You know the Basilidians actually used this contradiction as an evidence that it wasn't Jesus on the cross? The Basilidians say that if it's the case that in the Gospel of John that Jesus drank from the fruit of the vine before he was on the cross, it's either that he was a liar. Wait, I'm in the middle of talking. They bring a straight dichotomy. They say if he drank from this, according to the Gospel of John, it's either the case that Jesus lied or the one that drank the oxos was not Jesus.
Ooh.
That's what they present.
Is this what you guys do? You guys appeal to heretics to prove your case?
Oh, we're appealing. We're just playing. We're playing the game of history, man. You wanted to play.
One man's heretic is another man's saint.
You're appealing to heretics. I'm appealing to the.
We're appealing to history, man. We're appealing to history. You tried to play the history game with Hamza, and you got beaten at your own game.
No. And history says that Jesus was crucified.
And history says that he wasn't resurrected. So
history says that the believers. The history says that the believers who you say are Muslims believed in the resurrection.
Yeah, no, but history also says that early Jewish Christians deny the crucifixion. So what's the problem?
No.
History says a lot, bro. History is very fun.
Which Jewish Christians?
So
which actual Jewish Christians?
Wait, hold on. When I say Jewish Christianity, wait, hold on. Do you know what Jewish Christianity means?
Messianic Jews, like they just believe in the.
Wait, Jewish Christianity means Messianic Jews. Okay, perfect. So Messianic Jews, Jewish Christianity. Do you agree that there were early Jewish Christian groups that denied the crucifixion?
Like who? Name one.
I literally brought up to you, for example, the Docetists that people deem as Jewish Christians. The people the people that Ignatius deems as Docetists, history says are Jewish Christians. So regardless of you saying these people are heretics and these people aren't heretics, history doesn't care who's a heretic and who's not. History doesn't take that into account. History takes into account what the people believed in.
Yes,
regardless of whether or not you think they were heretics. It doesn't. History doesn't care.
And the apostles believed in the resurrection. Who you say?
Okay, yeah, that's circular.
No, it's not.
Okay, prove to me that the apostles believed in that without using the Bible.
Well, how else are we going to use
exactly circular? Exactly. So it's circular. No, you said it's not circular, and then I said don't use the Bible, and now you're tweaking.
No, because there's multiple testimonies in the Bible.
Okay, bring a testimony outside of the Bible.
No, your Quran is only one person. It's
Wait, hold on. Bring a testimony outside of the Bible right now.
Well, on the resurrection.
No, on the apostles specifically, believing that Jesus Christ died and resurrected. And you can't appeal to your church because your church uses the Gospels.
Are you asking the people who spoke about the apostles?
No, I'm saying bring to me, outside of the Bible, individuals that don't use the Bible as a source that say that the apostles believed in this. People that don't use the Bible as their piece of evidence.
Well, apart from church tradition, I can't really...
Exactly. So it's circular inherently. So you said that you weren't going to be circular, and then 10 seconds later you became circular.
You know why it's not circular? Because there's multiple testimonies. Like everyone.
Yeah, it's multiple. Wait, hold on. You claim that it's multiple testimonies in one book, but it doesn't matter because it's still one book. It's a multitude of different authors that come together. Wait, hold on. So you don't agree that you don't agree that the Bible is one book? It's one compilation. Yeah, it's one compilation of a multitude of different writings.
Yes, and that's the multiple testimonies, the different writings.
Wait, hold on. Okay, beautiful. So name one book in the Bible.
Matthew.
Okay, prove to me that Matthew or Matthew.
We got church traditions. We got the writings from Papias.
Okay. And what did it's Papias, by the way. And what did Papias say?
We even got internal evidence that Matthew.
No. Wait, hold on. You mentioned church tradition and you mentioned a church father. So I have a question. Church tradition in this instance, is church tradition relying upon a specific belief, such as Irenaeus's in the 2nd century?
I know that Papias had writings of Matthew, and Irenaeus knew Polycarp, who knew John. Like it's all like a claim.
No. That all falls apart under scrutiny, mate.
Exactly. Apostolic succession can be refuted in a mere 30 seconds.
What do you, bro? The early church and the Bible is like one of the most reliable.
No, you just thought it was. You just thought it was. You do you believe Polycarp? Do you believe Polycarp was a student of John? Just. Okay, Enes. Do you believe Polycarp? Forget that. Do you believe Polycarp was a?
I'm not forgetting that.
Can you stay on topic, please? Okay. Do you believe? Okay. Don't worry about Greek theology and Aristotle and all this business. Right? Deal with what you're being asked. Yeah. Very simple question. Do you believe Polycarp was a student of John? If so, why?
Achi, stop muting me, Achi.
I will mute you if you don't shut up when I'm talking.
Okay, so you don't think that the ancient documents...
You're doing it again. I'm not interested in that. I'm asking you why you believe Polycarp was a student of John.
So what makes you think the Marcus Aurelius and Plato are reliable?
Why do you believe Polycarp was a student of John?
So you don't want to answer my question?
No. Why do you believe Polycarp was a student of John?
Okay, so you're not going to answer my question.
No.
Anyway,
why do you believe Polycarp was a student of John?
You guys did a good job. You didn't convince me of anything.
I'm not gonna lie, Enes, you basically...
We're not here to convince you, mate.
No, you got belted.
You got absolutely belted. This is getting put on the YouTube. Enes, you're baked. You and your ex-Muslim friends are not gonna like this one, bro. You and your ex-Muslim friends are not going to like this bakery that's going to be posted.
And I'm going to be honest with you. Corey, you did brilliantly on the topic, yeah, but you saved him from a proper battering. Because you saved him big time.
Bro, Hamza, you gotta remember.
You saved him from humiliation. Huh?
Hamza, you couldn't handle the hate, bro.
You gotta remember, I'm nice with it. I'm nice with it.
Yeah, I know, but you're very charitable. Whereas me, like for example, I was asking him a very simple question: why he believed Jesus had to be crucified for the sins of the world, and what did this signify? Did it signify there's no more animal sacrifice? Is that what you're saying, Enes?
It's funny because
Is that what you're saying, Ennis? Just answer the question, mate.
It's funny
Is that what you're saying, Ennis?
early church, and then
Is that what you're saying, Ennis? Focus, Ennis. Focus, 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 son. Okay. Do you believe after Jesus' crucifixion? Do you believe after Jesus' crucifixion, there's no more need for animal sacrifice? Is that your belief?
See you later, guys.
Is that what you believe?
No, go run.
Run where?
See ya.
Yeah, run to your. I know your ex-Muslim friends are FaceTiming you saying, bro, you got belted, don't do this ever again.
No, because Cora, you ran away from the early church.
I ran away from what?
From the early church to the wine. Like, what's the wine got to do with what we're talking about?
Wait, no. I circled it to Jesus being the Messiah. It was completely in line with the topic.
No, it wasn't.
You said that the people believed that Jesus was a false Messiah and he came out to be a true one. I said, okay, let's test that theory.
Exactly. Right. Ennis, do you believe after Jesus' crucifixion, there's no more need for animal sacrifice? Do you believe that?
I'm not talking to you, bro.
You're not talking to me. It's my life, mate. You got to talk to me, mate.
This is his life.
You got to talk to me, mate.
I'm going to bed, guys. It's late here.
All right. See you later, mate. Cora, thanks for jumping on. Really nice to have you with us.
Of course, Effie.
Yeah, and next time, join the arena.
Before I even hopped on the panel.
You have to jump on an arena. Please.
You were doing Allah Mubarak amazing before I even hopped on the panel.
Yeah, I'm just more baseball batty. I just like to just take them out of the knees where you're happy to go into the deep.
That's my fault. Like, I have a different style.
No, it's good. I wanted to hear it.
With people.
Yeah, I wanted to hear that. That's why I brought you. I wanted to hear your angles and how you went. Like I said, this guy doesn't know that in Ezekiel that animal sacrifice is going to happen when the third temple's built. He didn't know that. Yep. He didn't know in Ezekiel where God says he can forgive the wicked man without any need of animal sacrifices at all. He doesn't know this.
Exactly.
Do you get me? So there's so many things he doesn't. He thinks Polycarp was a student of John. He thinks Irenaeus was some kind of associate of Polycarp. They don't realize there is the connection is so small. I never realized how small the connection was between them. Honestly, it's like even one time where they're trying to connect it to Polycarp. He's like, he heard that Polycarp had said something as if like it was like if it was his best buddy or something. Anyway, well, Cora, Jazakallah khair for jumping on, my sister.
Bringing me up. I genuinely appreciate it.
You're more than welcome. Take care. Salam alaikum. Anytime. Wa alaikum salam. All right, that's gone 20 minutes over my what I wanted to do. I got so many people waiting, but unfortunately, I have to go now. Unfortunately, we've been on live for like 3 hours 44 minutes, but I really enjoyed it. Thank you everyone for being here. I apologize for anybody who's queued up waiting to. I don't know why if you're a Christian you'd be queuing up to come on after that. But yeah, mashallah, that was just a demonstration. Alhamdulillah, with the different styles. Me, I'm more. I go after the joints. Yeah, I don't mess around with the steak in the middle. I just take out the joints. Very, very simply. I take out the source of what you're thinking is true. Do you know what I mean? Like, we didn't even get to Paul and what he said. But anyway, I'm out of here. I hope everybody enjoyed it. I know there's 354 people here. Cora's gone now, so you're all going to leave. But take care, everybody. Assalamu alaikum. It's sad I have to end it with so many people watching, but it is what it is. It's Enes, it's E-N-E-S, ex-Turkish Muslim or something. Yeah, so that was Cora. That's Cora, mashallah. We will definitely get into an arena. Someone here wants to take someone wants to take Shahada there. Why didn't you say? I don't know if she's got a YouTube. She might have. I know she's got TikTok, Cora. But you know, she allowed him to get onto the topic of Islam. She allowed him to get onto the topic of Islam, and she shouldn't have. She does have it, does she? Cora the Taimi. She shouldn't have allowed him to get onto Islam. The guy who wanted to take Shahada. I apologize. I didn't notice. I didn't see it. I was interested. I was into the conversation. The argument about Jesus lying and such, I'm not a great fan of it. But mashallah, she did a brilliant job. I hope you enjoyed her. But that guy wouldn't have lasted 2 seconds with me. He was already getting pinned left, right, and center. and it would have just got worse and worse for him. Oh, was you doing the hearts? MashaAllah. You need more of these. Yeah, it's true. Because I just walk out and knock them out, and that's it. Which is what I care a lot about. Okay, I'm gonna go now. Thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's Sunday chill. 3 hours and 46 minutes. So alhamdulillah, it was a decent. We had a decent run. But yeah, I have to go. So I might do some gaming in a bit. I'm thinking about it. I haven't got back in. I know once I get back into it, I'll be back into it. So I've not really got back into it as of yet. But for now, assalamu alaikum. Here comes Lion. Thank you, Hajira, for going downstairs and dealing with all that murkiness. Thank you, all my mods who were up here dealing with nice people. Here comes the Lion.